There we are, and everything is looking relatively normal.
So everybody can wizard. But in turn, does that wizard also learn like any type of magic he wants, or does he still have to go out and search for that magic?
Oh yeah, he still has to go through the same process as any wizard would. Has to find the magic, or has to find somebody willing to teach him the magic. And if it's taught magic, well, then does that spell come from a book, or is it something that can be taught through somatic gestures, verbal components, and a little bit of material component or something like that? So I'm just looking at the logic of the spell and the logic of magic in general. Like anybody should be able to crack open a book, and as long as they understand the language there, they can read it. They can try and, if they have the faculties to understand magic, then why not let them wrap their heads around it? Why can't you have a thief with the ability to pop a couple of magic missiles off? It's not that everybody's going to learn that, and certainly, people crossing over might be a rarer thing than you imagine, simply because people didn't have the overall general intellect or ability, to get into a school, to read a book, to find, some kind of magic. So I'm making it sound like it's everywhere and everybody's got it, but it's still, uncommon. Not everybody's just popping off spells in the middle of the street, because it's, maybe in certain places, but yeah, definitely not in general. So that said, what are we missing here? Whose camera is
Kelly?
Yeah.
If we're like getting really good at certain weapons, then maybe, we would get the bonuses of fighters then, like as magic casters, if a fighter would be just, or a thief would be just learning the magic.
Yeah, so here's how we're going to do that, is moving forward, since there's a lot of different rules and a lot of different applications and stuff, just bring something up to me, or even in group, and then we'll discuss it, we'll talk about it, bring it up to me afterwards, fire it in Discord, wherever, and then I'll just look at the logic of it. Like, does it make sense that your magic user, for never having studied martial weaponry or anything like that, can suddenly wield a two-handed longsword or a two-handed sword or whatever the case might be? No, he's going to have to bulk up. He's going to have to apply himself. I want to hear about the training. I want to hear what's going on. I want to hear who he's training with, how he's planning to learn. And, we'll just roleplay the shit right out of it.
Yeah, sweet. Okay, cool, man.
Yeah. It goes without saying that I want to learn animal handling stuff.
Yeah, so exactly. Like if Brit wanted to learn animal handling, and we already discussed that Bops is going to help her with her newfound pet, and that will help actually facilitate a better training for the animal, because he'll be able to kind of put her directly in touch with what he's feeling. And over the course of this happening, over the next few months of this, puppy's life and them training together, I don't see any reason why Bops couldn't try to pass that knowledge of how he was communicating with animals to, a very intelligent Aasimar. I mean, that sounds logical to me. She's a magical creature in and of herself, and so is Bops, and so there's an exchange of knowledge and magic there that I don't see why it wouldn't be possible.
Yeah, I am also a trained animal handler.
Yeah, he starts juggling puppies. Check this
out. I handle them well.
Yeah.
My hands.
Two whole hands to handle them.
Right. So the other thing I wanted to talk about, everybody, is time. So what I am thinking about from moving forward is we are going to end the sessions at 10:30. So at the 10:30 mark, that gives everybody kind of a little time afterwards to breathe, settle down, relax, kiss their loved ones and say hello. But at that same token, what we can do is we can take a vote at 10:30, and if it's exciting or something's happening and you guys think we're going to wrap it up in half an hour, we'll just take a vote, and if everybody's unanimous, we'll continue to 11.
Will it be a secret ballot vote?
A secret ballot vote, yeah. No, y'all got to hold hands and don't be shy to say, no, you know what, I got to tap out. I got plans or whatever. Like, don't be afraid to say that. If we're all holding up hands and looking at you with guilt in our eyes, feel the guilt.
Yeah, I'm going to be the one. We all get the veto, basically, I guess.
That's right. I'm
pulling the plug on y'all.
Yeah. So, Bops, your crossbows are ready.
Sweet.
I wasn't finished. In 2 days.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah. So the same thing with Grond. His stuff is going to take a couple of days to get together. So you guys won't have those weapons for a couple of It won't have a couple of. I am actually getting a training montage in my head right now, kind of a mix of Rocky and Ip Man. So yeah, it's going good. It's going good up there. But does everybody remember where we left off? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, Kite, I'm going to get Denver to tell us what Kite and Calyndra were up to.
Last time on the amazing adventures of Tales of... I'm going to say it wrong again and know it.
Chryalis?
Chryalis!
There we go.
Nailed it. First try, unassisted. Our brave, intrepid, skulky heroes, Kite and Calyndra, tailed a criminal exchange of... Was it a wyvern egg or was it a...
Yeah, 2 wyvern eggs.
2 wyvern eggs! They tailed the nefarious seller to a secret location, to which they got the jump on him and are about to interrogate this poor criminal shady jerk.
Yes, and that is probably the most exciting part where we left it. Otherwise, Grond, you were in the midst of messaging people and kind of communicating. Do you remember where you left off last time?
Grond is sitting quietly and calmly in a cell with an individual who he is attempting to terrify the ever-living fuck out of just by sitting there and staring at him. And he's sending messages to Emus, Calyndra, and I think Bops to come and help him interrogate this guy who potentially knows where Elsith von Numbnuts is.
Right. This is the bartender of the Harper's Eyrie that basically, has been locked up and is now very uncertain of his future, being faced with the Half-Ogre in the bowels of the council chamber prisoner holding area. And last, I think we left Bops and Mirajane right at the, I'm not going to call it a puppy mill, but right at the exotic animal holding area. And she's decided to take on a warg puppy.
Wait, no, we.
Direwolf.
I've had the dog for a little bit now.
Well, a direwolf warg, kind of.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but yeah, it's a direwolf. And what were you saying?
I've had the direwolf for a little bit now, like at least a few hours.
Yeah, a few hours. That's right. Yeah. So, but you guys didn't really tell me you were doing much more beyond that.
Yeah, I've actually already been into the shop looking at rings and stuff.
Oh, that happened afterwards. Okay, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I'm pretty sure that I actually left off with me just kind of like spending time with my new puppy and training it and stuff.
See, that's what I remember. It's exactly that. You spending time with the puppy. But was not Bops with you?
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure I asked him for help.
Yeah, I helped her out a bit, but then I was snuggling up to the crossbows and blasted bardic inspiration at the gnomes that were crafting my babies.
So actually what I'm going to do is, Bops, you are going to teach Mirajane the ways of communicating with animals, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So Bops has agreed to take you on as a teacher. I'm going to get you to roll a d20.
Myself? Or
no, Brit.
Okay.
Roll me a d20, intelligence, straight up intelligence check.
Intelligence check?
Yes.
I'm not that intelligent. No, actually I am. 15.
Okay. So you and Bops, for the next session, or 3 or 5, or however long I determine that it's required that you guys work together on this animal handling, we're just going to say underlying the adventure that you guys are spending time as often as possible working with this animal and trying to guide it on the right, not boot-chewing path to stardom.
I'm basically starting with the fact that you need to communicate with animals with feelings first and foremost. Okay.
Yeah, that's a good practice. It's a good practice with people too.
No.
Yeah.
What are these feelings?
Yeah, what are these things? And Emus, I believe you had your face right up a library the last time we left you, and you started communicating with Grond and everybody and trying to coordinate getting everybody together. Was that the gist of things?
Very much so. Once I found a couple books on the subjects I was looking at, I got a message from Grond, and it was about time to get people in together. But if other people were doing other things, I was going to make my way to Grond because he sounded like it was pressing.
All right, so I'm going to say that right about this time, Emus is scooting up the front steps of the council hall, and in he goes and down into the main foyer area just below the pedestal, and you see that there's a couple of ministerial-looking people gathering in the council chambers, and a few other people from the public have come in. And as you approach the doors below that pedestal of people, they swing open. And you see that there is guards stationed at several points down this long hallway, and you can kind of hear some sniveling coming from down quite a ways, somewhere down the hall. So you're going to continue in there and meet with Grond?
Sniveling, or sorry, was that sniveling or snickering?
You're not sure. It might be some half-ogre snickering with a bit of human sniveling. there's a healthy...
Grond is dead silent. He is just silently staring at this guy.
All right, so this guy's butt cheeks are as clenched as they're going to clench, sitting on his cell and staring at the half-ogre, glowering down at him. And you come up behind Grond, basically, in the cell, and you see that, Grond's basically got half of the cell blocked off with his huge back, sitting on the floor and staring at this guy. What do you do, Emus?
I'm going to slowly make my way to Grond. Grab into my left satchel and take out the wrap of the dissection tools and set them on the closest flat surface.
No. Things are going dark here quickly. Grond, you hear this wrap being unwrapped, and you know instinctively what that wrap is. You've heard Emus unwrap those things before. And you kind of feel his approach. You feel the cold emanations of Emus approaching from behind.
Emus must be here.
Grond's gonna look over at the guy. He's just steadfast, just calm. Excellent. The tools that we requested are here. Thank you, Emus. And I'm gonna look at the barkeeper and say, is there anything that you would like to tell us before we begin?
He kind of stammers for a moment and then proceeds to urinate.
Oh, no.
Just there on the floor. He says nothing, but he looks very, very terrified at this point.
Good.
Good.
Oh, no. You see Emus, Grond kind of shuffles aside and gives this guy a couple of words of encouragement. How do you proceed?
We want to know what you know about the missing council members.
He's like, I don't know nothing.
Tell us.
I don't know nothing. Don't know nothing about no council members.
Well, do you know something about Elseth?
No, he shakes his head. His eyes get a little wider, though, and you can tell that he's hiding something. And he just closes his eyes a moment, and you see him just begin to wince in pain. And then he opens his eyes, and he looks a little bit glazed at first, and he just stays silent.
Emus, I think it's time that we start with the basic probe.
Oh, no. Not the South Park version of the anal probe. Let it not be that.
Yes.
This is the one I think where we deal with him just mentally for now.
So this is going to be a cast detect thoughts.
Okay.
And we're going for surface thoughts to see when that he glazed over and went. Is that him going into some form of protection? What is he protecting?
Okay. You begin to cast your spell, and you feel a huge amount of resistance trying to even catch those stray thoughts. And it's almost as if there is some kind of magical protection dumbing the man down. As you attempt to probe his thought, you can see the man begin to wince in pain again, and his eyes almost roll up in the back of his head, showing the whites.
I'm going to look at Grond. He's protected.
Dispel magic. I am not here. I
But
think.
you're not there.
Yeah, no worries. I'm just letting him know he's protected at the moment, and we can go further if we want. We also have tools. If he's protected magically, there's other ways. Yeah. See how I didn't mention the dispel magic right away?
Yeah.
So Grond is going to cast Mage Hand. So his hand isn't touching it, but the Mage Hand is going to pick up a scalpel.
Oh no, this is not like an accurate robot. This is gonna go down awful. I mean, please, let's have a skill check, shall we?
Oh, I'm not cutting him yet.
Okay.
This is just picking up the scalpel to move it closer. I'm just going to make that very, very clear. Grond is not going to cut him, but Grond's going to look at him and say, now I'm not practiced in this art, but he is. And I might want to try and learn. And vivisection might be the best way.
Yeah, the man begins to bubble at the mouth, and his eyes roll up as you see his face clench in pain. Emus, are you still trying to probe his thoughts at this time?
No, we're going to stop with the and go with a quick dispel magic.
Okay. Fantastic. As soon as you dispel magic, you feel a subsidence of the magic that may have been preventing you from probing his mind.
But he's probably still. Is he still dazed? Is he relieved from that pressure? Or?
He's relieved from that pressure. You can tell that visibly on his face, but he looks like exhausted from the effort that he just went through.
This might be enough. He should be like Grond would be whispering this. He should be basically ripe if your dispel magic has pushed away any protection from him. He's probably so exhausted at the thought of everything that's going on around him. He might be ready to spill.
Well, yeah. So right now I still have up to a minute on the detect thoughts.
Yeah. But now that you've had this conversation, you kind of got to focus back on him and pressure that detect thoughts. He's going to get a wisdom saving throw. And he actually succeeds on the wisdom saving throw. And you feel the strength of this guy is just abnormal. I mean, for a mere barkeep. Actually, Grond, I'm going to get you to roll an insight, please.
Not a strong suit.
I'm going to go the old-fashioned
4.
4? Okay. So so you continue to interrogate him for a little bit here, and we're going to say some time is passing while this is going down. We got a flash right over to Kite and Calyndra, who have the complete attention of the gentleman in front of them that just finished hawking. You guys went after the guy that had the gold, not the guy that had the eggs. So yeah, he dropped those coins on the ground, correct? And those kind
Calyndra picked them up and is holding on to them.
Right, holding on to them. You didn't count them yet, though, did you? Okay. So you've got this guy in there, and
we were right outside the pub where those guys went missing, right?
No. So that's a ways away, just up the street. You are kind of at a corner and down an alley. Remember, he noticed that there were guards kind of stationed in and around where that place was. So he turned, went further northeast, and then ducked down an alley. And that's where you guys kind of came in. And it's a fairly wide alley. You can tell that there is a couple of residential doors on the left and the right. There's no signage, and you can see the wash buckets and stuff like that out front. So you can kind of tell these are residences. A couple of windows, but otherwise the alley continues down brick wall by brick wall and then turns sharply left about 40 feet further down the alley. And you guys have him kind of before those residential doors.
Yeah, he was about to go knock on the door, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And figured out our questions here. Lynette, do you want Kite to take this, or do you want Calyndra to do the talking?
Kite can do the talking if she wants.
Okay.
Calyndra's just going to stand there with the money, just kind of one hand on the hip and just kind of...
Right?
Kite's got the blade up to the guy's throat. It's like, all right, I'll make this quick. I got a few questions, and how this goes down depends entirely on your answers here. Understood?
He just nods his head.
Good.
He's got a cocky look in his eye, though.
All right, that's fine. First, tell us who you're working for.
Who I'm working for exactly. Perhaps whom I'm working for. The organization I work for.
Farther into his neck.
Yeah, he's like, it doesn't matter. Go ahead, kill me. You see, the thing is I was supposed to deliver this money, and if I don't do so in a timely fashion, I'm as good as dead anyway. At least this way, it'll be quick, I assume. And he kind of looks down at you.
we may give your money back if you answer our questions.
He kind of raises his eyebrows. Ah, bargains. Now that is a language I speak well. Perhaps if you'll lower the blade, and he kind of reaches up and puts 2 fingers gently on the edge of the blade. Perhaps we can discuss this like civilized people.
You're in no position to negotiate here. Tell us what we want to know, or you don't have to worry about your delivery.
What is it you wish to know? The people that I deal with are the Thieves Guild here in Calyndra.
Do they run the black market?
They run all markets. Here and elsewhere.
Where else?
Sember, of course. Elmoraine? Where would you like? Small towns in between? There's a Thieves Guild representative far and wide, my friend. And you've just brought on the ire of the worst group of them, should you not let me go.
Yeah, I get that a lot. What do you know about any missing people in this area?
He defiantly says, I know nothing. Nothing of any missing people. I deal in hard-to-find exotic goods. Surely, if you are trailing me, you must know this is true. How long have you been following me?
You're not in a position to ask the questions, only to give answers. Understood?
Understood.
So you're a part of this organization, then?
The Thieves Guild in Calyndra. You want access to them? I cannot give you access. I have a drop point to attend. I'm not high enough with that group to have any effect on trying to get you in good with them. I'm a mere merchant, he says, holding up his hands.
But you are in league with them.
Everybody pays a tithe to the Thieves Guild, or you simply can't do business in Calyndra, my good man. My good woman, sorry. It's the mustache every time. I'm like... As soon as you shave it, I'll understand that Kite has a smooth, gently feminine.
She wears a mask anyways, so...
Right, yeah. So, yeah, he could have been Sir. You know, maybe she was like, oh, tell us everything you know.
She's got a Batman voice changer. Where's Rachel?
Yeah, you have a choker of voice disguise. Yeah. Does that domo arigato Mr. Roboto voice in addition to the Batman voice and several other fun sound effects. But he says, look, I'm just a merchant. I can't get you in with anybody. I have to make deals by information and then make drops where I'm supposed to drop. That's as far as my involvement with them goes.
And where is your drop point?
Please, Like, let me make the drop. They're not going to appreciate strangers coming into the drop point, and it'll surely be watched. We may even be watched now.
That's fine. I'm not interested in who cares. I want to know who your contact is and where's the drop.
It's in there, and he gestures back towards the very first door on the left-hand side of the alley. You see it's a sturdy oaken door, and that there is a fairly noticeable cut down the center beam in this oaken door.
Do I see anybody watching us at all?
Roll perception, please.
And that's everything I needed to know. Lynette, if there's anything Calyndra wanted to ask him, I'm ready to finish this guy.
Okay, 21. I think I'm good.
Okay, 21. You do not see anything of note. Your eyes scan the rooftops and along the alley, and just outside of the main road where you guys headed into this alley, you kind of give it a peek, and you don't notice anybody has seen you.
Okay, Calyndra will just give a nod.
Okay.
Yeah, so I want to give him a snappy liner before. Kite's going to attempt to knock him out after this, but
okay, he actually senses your intent. He kind of senses you starting to build up. He's like, look, surely we must be able to make a deal. What is it you want? More money?
I want you to have a good night. And she's just going to like drive her fist really high up in his diaphragm, trying to wind him.
Okay, the hit, I'm going to get you to roll a d6. The hit is completely successful without the need for a roll, but I need you to roll a d6 for me, please. You want to roll high.
I could d6 right in the middle, 3.
Right in the middle of 3 is good enough. You managed to incapacitate him with one punch.
One punch!
Yeah, and he slumps to the ground like a sack of hammers.
Kite's going to use some rope and tie him up and just kind of throw him out in the street and leave him for the officials.
Okay.
I think we should off him because he's seen our faces. He can go back to the guild and tell them.
That's fine with me. They already know who we are. And if we send them back, then they know that they know that we're after them just as much. We already have dealings with these guys. But if you want to kill him, I won't stop you.
Okay, she'll walk up and just...
Okay, so I did roll, and just as you were slicing the throat, you hear the of a guard patrol passing right by the alley. But I rolled, and they actually gave you a march right by as you were slitting this guy's throat, and nobody appeared to look down the alley. But you guys felt that tense moment for a second there where you were doing something naughty very much in the open, just down this alley. So now this guy's lying in a pool of his own blood. It's gurgling out into a big puddle forming around him, and you have this newfound sack of cash.
Okay, it's not going to tie him up, by the way. So
I'm heading up on the roof. Heading up to the roof.
How are you going to head up onto the roof? Because that satchel that you're carrying happens to have a whack load of loot in it, and it is a very heavy sack of coinage.
Oh. I'm going to look inside. How much does it look like?
Okay, I'll just tell you straight up. It's 2,400 gold pieces.
Okay,
gold.
Who just came back? Did we lose somebody and somebody came back?
Not
there he is. He's coming back.
Well, let's just get out of here, I guess, for now.
Well, hold on. They haven't noticed this yet. This might be a good time to further scope out this building. We know his contacts are in here. If we can find a mark, we might be able to find a trace to lead back to the Thieves Guild.
Okay.
Right.
Could between the two of us, could we kind of hoist the bag up onto a rooftop and hide it up there? For now?
Yeah. Yep. So you guys are going to just stash it?
Up on the roof somewhere.
Sure. Okay, so just throw me an acrobatics check, and then you're going to wind your way up to the roof. Are you going with her, or are you just going to wait while she does it? And I'm just going to say that you find an adequate stash spot.
We'll both go and I'll assist her as well.
Did you roll an 8?
No, I rolled a 14, so 18 altogether.
Okay, yeah, so you managed to nimbly work your way up a couple of drain pipes and such to get up onto the roof and tuck your bag neatly into an eave just below a boarded up window up on the top there. You feel that you have a nicely tucked away and secured, and then you're jumping back down to rejoin Kite on the...
Well, Kite would have went up with her. She can just shadow step up there.
Perfect. Kite shadow steps directly into the boarded up windowsill just as you're placing the bag of coins between her feet. She just appears, and now you're both up on the rooftop overlooking.
Could you have carried this up here?
She's just gonna give you kind of like a smirk look. She's not gonna say anything.
Knock you off the roof here.
Kite will cast silence on the two of, or actually no, not silence. Pass without trace.
Okay.
And gonna try and look for a entry point that we can try and stealth or infiltrate our way in. And she'll also suggest to Calyndra that we should message Grond and let him know we may have found a lead back to the Thieves Guild and connected to the Senator Thieves Guild as well.
Yeah, Calyndra would have messaged him that.
Grond, you feel that message kind of beam in as you're watching Emus kind of shink, 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 frisking his scalpels together.
Okay, so I will share that with Emus.
Okay, do you send a message back?
I'll nod.
Calyndra, you just hear beep, beep,
Beep,
beep, beep,
Yeah.
as the hold music kicks in.
He put me on hold.
I will get back to you. I will get back to you shortly, but they run all of the guilds.
Holding music.
Seems like it.
Okay, so you guys might have to discuss a little bit in chat. We're going to run over to Mirajane and Bops. I need to know what you guys are up to with your newfound pet.
Well, I was still cuddling up with my
Crossbows?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm cuddling up to my puppy, man.
Yeah. I'm just sitting there. I'm assuming everything is fine. Everything is lollipops. We're gonna find Elsif, when the time is right. And I'm singing sweet lullabies to.
Okay, I'm gonna get you to roll me an insight.
21.
You sense that Emus is up to no good.
Of course.
You just have this inkling. You're not quite sure what to put it on. You're just like, well, I don't know what it is, man. I
Probably could have rolled a 5, and that would.
Yeah, I have a feeling that Emus is up to no good right now.
I'm gonna kiss my crossbows goodnight. I'll see you babies in the morning.
Okay, the other tinkerer gnomes kind of move aside while you kiss them weirdly, and they kind of babble between themselves.
It's exactly what you think it is.
Yeah.
It's I'll be back in the morning, and then I give the gnomes a kiss as well. And I feel like my friends need me, and I'm gonna just kind of do some front flips and out of there, and I'm gonna go to the interrogation room, and we kind of discussed. I'm I just know Grond and Emus are just having their way with this guy right now.
So we're going to say it takes you a little time, though, to get there. So
sure.
You're going to walk with your little feet and your hoppity, skippity jump to the council hall. But we're going to say it's going to take you about 15 minutes from where you are to get to there. So in between that time, we're going to get back to Grond and Emus in just a moment. But Mirajane, what are you doing? Or where are you hanging out with your new puppy?
Probably in a... Is there a forest around here?
Not for several blocks and a outer city wall and quite a bit of farmland beyond that. There's small patches of trees out there, but a lot of developed land outside of Calyndra.
Okay, well, I'm probably just walking around with dog, like looking at what is in Calyndra, because I'm not really sure if I've been here before.
Making my way downtown.
No doubt. You find that Calyndra is a very functional city at almost all hours of night. Lots of merchants, lots of wares, everything you can buy from pots and pans to, magic items if you dig in the right places. And if you ask the right people, you may be able to find other things that you're looking for. It's a very, very focused point of trade between El Moraine and Sember, and between Highwatch and El Shanir and El Moraine and Sember. A lot of stuff flows through here. It's the largest city in the north. And
after a while, I think I'm going to head back to where that prisoner is, because I was actually very interested personally in seeing what was up with him. So
okay. Okay, so you actually are going to end up there about 5 minutes before Gone Bops.
okay.
So you two are all in transit, and we'll come back to you in just a moment. We've got about 15 minutes to deal with what Grond and Emus have to do with this guy. What are you guys up to?
Pretending to play good cop, bad cop.
Uh-oh.
I thought it was bad cop, bad cop. It looked a lot like bad cop, bad cop.
It did, yeah.
Bad cop, worse cop.
Yeah.
Bad cop, much, much worse cop.
Emus is the much worse cop, right?
I have not laid a finger on anybody I've interrogated yet.
Yeah.
All right.
I do look at your rope sitting at your belt and give you the nod.
So Grond takes the rope, and is this guy resisting or fighting or anything?
No, he's curled up in the corner, sitting in a pool of his own urine and looking very, very much exhausted from the last 15 minutes of dealing with having to resist that mental force.
Excellent. Grond's going to grab an arm.
Uh-oh. He kind of leans back and shrinks away from you.
Grond will pursue that arm. And he's just going to
Grond
grab
has
that
no
arm.
problem grabbing it, and then he kind of relaxes as soon as he realizes the strength in your grip and that it would be pointless to resist.
So Grond's going to put his wrist up to a point where two bars intersect.
Okay.
And,
Crucify him?
well, I mean, as long as he is held in place enough, I mean, things will work out. So, Emus, I think this looks like a good place. And he'll get Emus to use his hands to kind of tie that arm in place, fasten it tight.
Okay. So he kind of winces, but I'm going to get you to roll a perception check for me, Grond.
13.
Okay. So yeah, he winces in pain and he just groans a little.
15.
15? You notice a small tattoo on the man's chest just above his right breast here. His right pec.
Okay. Take a look at the tattoo. Oh, what is this interesting mark?
Okay, it's two daggers piercing a crescent moon.
And which thieves' guild does this belong to? And with that, Grond's going to grab the other arm, and he's going to stretch it out as good as he can.
Okay.
And he's going to get Emus to tie this arm. And Grond's got his hand up against this guy, so this guy's kind of up against the cage pretty tight. And we're going to tie this arm up. So he is pretty stretched. He's not, it's not like a rack. I'm not dislocating shoulders or anything, but he's pretty stretched.
Okay. Yeah, he definitely winces a bit as you stretch him out.
So, I mean, you've got a chance right now. You've got a chance to it's almost like that. You've got a chance to talk right now and maybe even come out of this ahead of the game. Did you know that if you acquiesce to the information we're going to give you, we will actually attempt to protect you?
He's like, you can't protect me? He chuckles a bit and the rank smell of this guy at this point is just kind of a turn off. But Grond stood in front of men losing control before, so he's used to it. And Emus has had his face stuffed in the guts of a human being and corpses so many times it barely even notices. But the rest of the guards, you see them kind of move a few feet down from the cell door, and one of the guards motions to the guards at the end of the hall, who swing those big doors shut at the end. As if they're sensing something's coming. He says, it wouldn't matter what you did to me. What they would do would be far worse.
I've heard that before. They've never been right. And with that, Grond's going to back off. So you know who they are. You've already let the cat out of the bag a little bit.
He looks nervous side to side. He's like, I haven't told you anything.
You've told us enough.
The word "they" was spoken. That just with the word "they," that means you know they. There's a they.
And you know who they are. Now, obviously, they had you mentally shielded for a little bit. My friend took care of that, so you're not defended anymore. There's another interesting thing. My friend also has the ability to read your mind. So we could leave you alive to deal with them for the rest of your life and just take what we want from your mind. But we're giving you an option here to live under our potential protection. Offer's going.
Mind. You can't read my mind. You're a half-ogre.
And you're a racist.
And then he looks over at Emus, and what are you exactly?
He's going to be living at the end of the night for sure.
So do we want this to go relatively quick, or are we going to stretch it out, Grond? I just ask you.
Okay.
Oh, there's no reason for us to be hasty about this. This is something that should take time. Lots of time. Remember you've always been doing dissections of things? This should be a vivisection. He should be alive the entire time. And with that, we'll go over to Bops.
We're actually going to go over to Mirajane, who arrives at the council hall before Bops, so roughly 5 minutes before, and you kind of stroll up the steps, and there looks like a few people gathered at the top of the steps, and as you come in, you can see there's a few people mingling in and around, mostly haughty-toddy types. You can tell by the robes they're like upper echelon. And as you come into the council chambers, down the hall, and you kind of head straight towards the interrogation chamber.
I do have Nyx with me, but yes.
Okay. So as you go in, the council members kind of lean over the dais there and look to your dog, and one shakes his head, and the doors swing open, and the guards are there, and they kind of look down at the dog, and they're uncertain what you're doing there with the dog.
Well, I don't really care what they think, so I'm still gonna head to the chamber.
Okay, you can hear the muffled sound of voices coming from down the hall, and you work your way down and around and turn the corner, and you come into a cells area with a large cell in the corner, and you can see the shadow of Grond sort of in the corner of the cell, and you can hear the Emus sharpening something, and you see that they've got this guy kind of pinned up against the bars.
The way that he's pinned up,
it's not erotic. It's not erotic at all.
Wow, thanks for that. You mean I totally thought that it was, but thanks for that clarification.
Yeah.
I'm gonna immediately.
How is it not? Sorry.
I'm gonna ask what the hell they're doing, because I'm no fan of torture at all. So I'm not gonna be a fan of this site.
It's a facade.
You see nothing.
Yeah.
Not once have I tortured anyone.
Yeah, well, it looks like you're about to, and I'm not really a fan of it.
That's the bad cop facade. But you don't know us. That's true. But everyone else that has seen me interrogate people, I'm not the one that has hurt people ever.
Yeah, Grond's muted. Oh,
We
there he
don't
is.
intend on killing him, and we hope to not hurt him.
Okay,
But
you actually feel like almost feel the sigh of relief from this guy when you say that.
sorry, this was in a message spell, so silent.
Oh,
Essentially.
okay, yeah.
Yeah, don't.
I meant to say that actually before. I did before when I was muted, like a mutie.
Silent but still violent. Nice.
Almost. But essentially we have to show that we're willing to go to extremes to find out information, because these guys, we have never once in every single interrogation, these guys have some sort of a magical defense against any information ever being spouted at all whatsoever.
I want to know
they never talk.
who puts that protection on, so I could, if I can dispel it once and then find out who put it on, accomplished.
Are you capable of trying again with the thought thing?
Oh yeah, 3 more times. But I have another trick that I haven't rolled out, and it doesn't involve torture. But
Okay, I'm gonna tentatively watch you guys do this method, but I probably will step in if I do see torture. But first, look at my new puppy.
Oh, your puppy ran up the
That's
stairs.
important.
Emus, go.
So Emus is going to reach into his necklace and grab the one vial he has that's got that decaying grub. That yeah.
Oh,
And I'm gonna flick my fingers and Ella Morte, and this decaying zombie grub is now gonna start moving
Oh man.
in the vial.
This is so weird. I saw this going down like this. This is so weird. Like literally 5 minutes ago, I was like picturing this whole Wrath of Khan shit going down. And yeah, here we are. Here we are.
That's a deep reference. I'm going more Fast and the Furious with the rat in the belly. If you heat the can,
Oh yikes.
the rat goes crazy.
Yikes,
We're just gonna open. Say you have but one chance to reveal everything you know, and I'm gonna put the vial with the zombie grub right up to his face.
Oh man. No. Okay, yeah, he looks very scared, very scared. He's like, "What are you going to do with that?" He's like, "What is that?"
It's either gonna eat through your stomach or be shoved down your throat. I'm gonna pick or choose.
He's like, "Why not just kill me? I can't tell you anything."
Well, obviously you can, because you know who they are, because you refer to them as they.
Oh no.
Or
Not again.
I'm gonna hold the cork. Just hold the cork of the vial up to his mouth.
Oh no.
Are we?
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
One last
Okay.
chance. We want to know who they is.
So this has taken longer than a minute. Your spell, your read thoughts would have to be cast again in order to be effective for what's coming here. If you're trying to read this guy's thoughts while he gets probed by a rot grub.
Oh no! Well, that would be. I don't want to. That would be the dumbest time to detect thoughts, because all it would be like the pay. It would be trying right now to figure out what he's trying to not think about.
So you're
I
going to
could
cast.
think of another place to put the rot grub.
Oh no.
Is that the reference to the not shit ever properly again?
Oh
The
no.
dreaded Candiru. Enough delivered this with a
Oh no. Yeah. As
He
he
made that.
around him in behind and says that, you feel this guy. You can feel this guy's butt cheeks clench. It clenched so hard you almost felt the bars kind of bend between his cheeks.
Ben's metal.
Yeah, yeah. He is
But-
very terrified of this thing.
So I would spend that spell slot, and then what we're trying to get here is what is he trying to avoid thinking about when we reference they?
Okay, so he has failed his wisdom saving throw, and you were actually able to probe beyond the surface layer of thoughts. You see that he knows of a secret entrance below the entire bar in his establishment. Actually has to be slid to the side by sufficient force, more than one person, You can see there's 3 people in his visions moving this entire bar aside to a chamber down below. He also, you also see flashing visions of him going out the back door of his establishment to another establishment across the alley, an unmarked door with a single sword slash across it, and into that building. And then things get very dark on the other side. But they get light again briefly, and you see him descending a set of stairs and then stepping into a room where it looks like several crates, weapons, and other bags of unknown items appear scattered into a room with 3 other men at the bottom. You also get a sense that of him sitting at the bar and being held by the shoulders by 2 individuals. And then something familiar stands in front of him, and you get the lipless mouth and that grin you remember oh so well from those mages as it stares down into his very soul, and the guy screams and things go black, and that's the last vision you see.
I'll put the cork back onto
Yes,
the
good
vial
picture.
and wrap it back around. Ooh, that's disgusting.
Yeah, that is the Witch King of Agnor. That's a good reference.
Sauron.
Oh yeah, that's right. The Mouth of Sauron. Yeah,
Ugh.
beauty reference.
And put the vial of the grub back on the necklace.
Oh, there might be some more information, though.
Okay, so you continue to probe?
A little bit deeper. Trying to figure out, it seems like this guy is on the verge of being innocent or maybe just a lackey.
Okay.
So we're going to see how far his innocence goes, if he's within this conspiracy or is he just an unwilling victim.
Grond's going to do his best to force this guy to bring those names to mind, any names he might know. Do your best right now to hide the names of those involved. Do your best to push them to the back of your mind. Don't think about them at all. Do not focus on these things. Nothing, because he has control of your mind. Let's see.
Okay. Yeah, you get you hear the name Ulrich Hyngar, Hyngar, and you see him accepting a bribe from this guy, and you see that guy, that Ulrich guy, standing somewhere. You recognize the interior of the council hall, but you're not certain where the location is. But you see this guy passing money to this guard, and this guard pocketing the money. But you do see the face, and you kind of lock that face into your mind.
Okay, that's I'll remember that.
Grond's going to send a quick message to this guy, to Emus, and say he is definitely not innocent. If he took a bribe to do something like this, he's definitely not clean-handed.
No. What gave me the innocence thought was him being forced down, kind of, and surrounded by these gentlemen. But accepting bribes puts you on that.
Grond's putting some pressure on this guy, and he starts to wince and cry out. Bops, as you come through the doors and the guards let you through and you're running down the hall, you hear this guy squeal a bit from the end, and you round the corner to see, leaning on the wall, Mirajane watching carefully as Grond and Emus appear to not quite be tickle torturing somebody, but are definitely trying to extract information out of them.
I see nothing has changed here. What have you found so far?
Something but nothing. We shall see what he gives us. And Grond will look at the guy, and he'll actually... Grond is actually, as soon as he's tied up, Grond was standing back.
Okay.
If this guy tried to resist at all or to hurt Emus, Grond would step in immediately. But Grond is standing back for the most part, so he's not really pushing hard on him.
Okay.
Yeah,
that being said...
Most I did was hold the vial to his face and trying to use that as a threat for him to be distracted, not to think about the information we were going for.
Okay.
As soon as I was able to get that information, we didn't need the threat anymore.
Okay. You sense that you have extracted all of the information this man has to offer.
Mm-hmm.
So now that we have the name Ulrich Hyngar, I want to see what happens to his face.
He just kind of gets a wide-eyed look, and he's like, "No, Just kill me then. I cannot even face them at this point.
Well, you're in a cell. I don't think
I
you
have
will
to
be.
run. They'll kill me here. They'll kill me anywhere.
Well, maybe you shouldn't have accepted a bribe.
I accepted no bribe. And then he squints. He's like, you didn't read my mind.
No, it's the Ulrich Heingar, wasn't it? Like, he gave the bribe to a guard.
Oh, he gave the bribe to this guy right here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's what I wrote down.
This guy paid a guard in the council hall.
Oh,
okay.
he paid the guard. Oh,
He
okay.
paid the guard, yeah. But he says, I accepted no bribe.
Ah,
Oh,
sorry.
sorry.
I
If
was
you, then I would have said you paid a bribe inside the thing.
Yeah, he just shakes his head, but you can tell from the slightly wide-eyed expression that he knows something. Kite and Calyndra, you guys were headed back with your new ill-gotten gains, or are you guys hanging out up on the roof?
I think we're gonna stealth, try and infiltrate, and just do some surveillance and try to find out who's inside here, right?
Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead.
Well, I was going to ask if there's any windows or anything on the top floors of that building.
No, further down where you would guess either another residence, unless in through that door it goes upstairs. There's no windows directly in line vertically with that particular door at the bottom. But one over, that place has two windows, one on the bottom floor and one on the top floor. And now that you guys are up on the rooftops, you can kind of see from that picture I posted earlier in channel of what the December rooftops look like. It's really like a large scale, if I may, clusterfuck of roofs, peaked roofs, and shit like that. You guys catch those pictures?
And is it the bottom picture is the building we're next to?
That was more the building that there's a door below it, and that was the building that goes up to the courtyard on top, where people were kind of in some market stalls and stuff up there, dealing in jewelry. That's back there.
Yeah,
Oh,
I did that too, hey. I was just gonna suggest that.
Oh, you have one too?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I should have. That's why we need to talk about spells, because I could.
I've used it once before.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
I guess we could sneak into the other building and maybe see if we can, just kind of stealth our way in, try and find out who's inside the building, and then just maybe make our way out. What do you think, Calyndra?
I think so. Might want to make sure no one's living there first.
That's fine, just as long as we aren't seen, it won't be a problem.
Hmm. I think we lost Kelly though.
Oh,
Oh no, he froze.
you did.
But yes, I think that would be a good idea.
And yeah, so your lowest stealth is 17. And
Mhm.
wait, what is your stealth
Oh,
score?
we're dropping
Is it
people
7
like
or 6?
flies.
Plus
Is Tyler
7.
gone now too?
So your lowest score is 18.
Yeah.
Oh wait,
Because the
I was
lowest
just
you
fucking
can
with you.
roll is a 1.
Oh yes.
You guys keep losing
So
out
it's
on my end too.
What did I miss?
Everything.
Should have been there, man. It was incredible.
We saved everything.
We
The whole
spelled,
build is gone.
Elsis.
Okay,
We
I
won
posted
at
a
D&D.
picture. Yeah, I posted a picture in channel again for Kite and Calyndra, so you guys kind of have an idea what you're staring out onto.
Pretty.
Yeah, let's.
So the building was connected to another building with windows on the second floor, right?
Yeah, they are all kind of connected. You're not sure if they're linked inside, outside. Some have doors at the bottom, some have, but you kind of get the sense that you're in an older part of the city where they weren't really building out of, any kind of pre-configured order. That, these are older houses and they were kind of smashed together as the population dramatically increased.
So,
Let's go find out.
Lynette, correct me if I'm wrong. I think our plan of attack here is to infiltrate through whatever highest vantage point we can get to, and just kind of sneak our way through. We're Our goal is to find out who's inside this building this guy was about to go to, the one you pointed out to us.
Okay.
We want to go in. Oh, sorry, go on.
I was just the thought I just got, like, he was supposed to drop this into a crack in the wall. Did you want me to wait outside and keep an eye on the crack while... No?
He said he was supposed to drop it off inside that building at a drop-off point.
Okay. Yeah, okay, so ignore all that, we're going in.
Yeah, no problem. How are you getting in? You've got the two window on the bottom, window on the top. That seems like it's one residence over one door. You've got the door with the sword slash on the front of it, and then you've got the rooftop, which has a peaked roof, but it looks like it either has no windows or that you'll need to get across to that other side and then look around to the other side to see if there is a top floor window.
What shape is a roof in?
Sorry?
What shape is a roof in?
It's older. It's older shingles. It's wood. You get the feeling that, if it was damp, it would be slippery. They're mostly like, wood shingles up top here.
But structure, does it look like it might be leaky or any holes?
No, I mean, it's wood, lots of pitch and stuff like that. So it's,
Right.
This stuff has stood the test of time to be where it is to this day. So you just get the sense that it might be uneasy footing in certain places, that maybe your acrobatics check might be at a deficiency that you don't know about. But you feel that you could kind of scoot along the top and around where the alley is, and that there is another cross bridge, which you can see in the bottom right-hand side of that picture. There's another cross bridge that goes over and can get you to the other side.
Yeah, I think if we can find if there's any kind of like attic window or something, that's probably the safest bet.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys are going to work your way around. I'm going to just get a little acrobatics check for both of you. Kite doesn't need it because Kite's going to just shadow the fuck over there, right? And then wait for Calyndra on the other side.
I rolled a nat 20.
Yeah, 20. Well, Calyndra's just like, she literally tiptoes and just like, meh. And, kind of works her way across the bridge, does a couple of flips, a couple of cartwheels on the rooftop here. And then nimbly...
I also rolled a 20. Not a nat 20, but she's she's keeping up with her. She's going to help her in case she falls, and is going to hope she's going to do the same for her if Kite falls.
Yeah, Calyndra kind of seems like she wants to defiantly ignore your attempts to assist her.
I got this, don't touch me.
So you do find there is a shuttered window on the top floor of that building.
Looks like our entrance.
But the shutters are closed. And we're going to go back over to torture. So while you guys consider how you're going to enter into this building, sorry to leave you hanging, but we can't leave everybody hanging for too long. You guys in the torture chamber, what are you doing with this individual? As the guards close the doors, once again, Bops comes down, and you guys are all mingling around this guy.
So Grond's going to look at Emus. So Emus, now that we've gotten some information from him, do you suppose if we let it out that we got this information, it would be good for his health? So Grond's going to look at the guy and kind of get a feel. What do you think if we were to let you go free right now? How would that end for you?
He's like, let me go. I'm a dead man walking.
But you can be a live man, or you could be an instantly dead man.
He's looking
if you
towards
tell us the information we want.
You already have the information. He looks at you both. Just let me go.
Why did you bribe Ulrich?
Why did I bribe him? To allow us to go unnoticed.
In what capacity? Who was
I pay a bribe we pay bribes to certain council members.
We'll see. This is what we want to know. Who? And Grond's going to kind of get a bit grumpy now.
Okay, he says, I don't know who they pay him to. We make drops. It's as simple as that. If you want to know who they did, ask the guard I bribed.
And he is where?
That's not
Yep.
Orek.
What
That's
is
a
The only
different.
thing,
like?
yeah, the only thing Grond knows is that he recognized the interior of, like, it matched the architecture of the interior of the council hall. So he senses that there is a guard somewhere in here that may
Think
have
of
taken
his
this
face, and I'll look at Emus. Probe. Think of his face. Get the picture.
Oh, Grond, Emus already has that face locked in his mind.
Yeah, that's the one I seared. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
He gave me the time for that one.
Yeah, Emus could literally sit and give you a second by second, a detailed account of what this guy's face looks like, much to the horror and chagrin of the guy you're tormenting.
All right. Is there anything else we need to know?
Yeah, who
You
those
shake
council
his head.
Sorry, Angela?
It's like, we know that some of the council members are corrupted. It's compartmentalized. We don't know everything. It's
Which
like I get paid to drop off to a guard. That guard gets paid to drop off to someone else. I don't know.
Last question I have, because it'll probably run out soon, is I'm looking for who set this all up for you. Where did this originate? This whole operation of yours.
I get paid by the Thieves Guild to do a job. I've done my job.
Who came to you? What was their name? Who approached you to begin all of this?
He looks back and forth for a second as if considering some resistance. And he says, Sir Telemon Drake.
He's the councilman.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Minutes probably
the
got on me
counselor?
to detect thoughts.
Yeah, your detect thoughts fades.
Yeah, thank you. I wrote it more like Telemundo without the O. But
This is like that Deo song. Like, come, Mr. Telemon, tell me, but now daylight come.
Come, Mr. Telemon. Nice.
that's what I like.
Nice.
I love that.
Between Tallyman and Amos or Amel. Got quite the cast of characters, quite the cast of gastrointestinal characters and shit going on. This one's
Games are fun. That's just how it's gonna be.
Nice.
So by
Do we permit him a swift death?
I think
Oof.
that's not your jurisdiction, but that's just
Okay. With
Oh,
Mirajane and Gun Bops looking on in horror.
Like,
Yeah,
look,
well, we don't need to be killing him, and he's not even our prisoner.
You guys hear the double doors at the end of the hall open up, and you see a couple of council members begin to descend the stairs into the long hall. Or you don't see, but you hear a couple of council members starting to descend into the hallway. And you hear a couple of guards.
as they come, I'm gonna whisper to Mirajane and be like, don't I recall that you have a way to create a zone of truth? Perhaps it might be beneficial for these councilmen that approach now.
More than one has to tell the truth? Whoa.
Yeah, if they're in the zone itself,
Ooh,
which is a
Welcome to
certain
the
amount
Isle
of
of Guile.
feet.
I'm pretty sure Grond can bear hug multiple at once and put them in the zone.
Okay. Yes.
Just pick
As
them
they
up.
approach, and they're like to go, hey, and they're like all together, I will cast it and making sure that they're like all in a zone.
Let's untie this guy and we'll let him be for now.
So you cast a zone of truth into this area before these
Thank
council members come in?
Just give me a moment. Let me find said zone of truth to see just how big it is.
I think it's 10.
Grond is going to message Gonbop something though quick as soon as you're done, Mike.
Okay. It's a 15-foot radius, so it's a 30-foot diameter, and they don't have to be in it. She can move around, the way I understand it anyways. You can move around, and people come in and out. It's like a zone where people have to tell the truth when they're in it, is the way I understand it.
Yep.
So I'm going to message Gonbops. Should these council members and should a corrupted council member have access to this man, they may corrupt his testimony.
Yes.
They may twist him and do this again.
You see them
So
come
it
around
might be-
the corner.
It might be an act of mercy to relieve this man.
Act
right?
of
Now,
mercy? What have we got going on in here? As
No,
they
no.
come
This
around the
is
corner.
a silent message to
Oh.
Grond only.
You and those silent messages, you're lucky.
I said that. That's what I said before he started
Okay.
talking about the zone of truth.
That one was legit.
We either get him out of here, or I mean, we gotta. It's an odd way of protecting, but I mean, legitimately, if these guys are in on it, they will screw him worse than we would.
And I'll just whisper back, like, yeah, I hear what you're saying, Grond. Yeah, I get that.
It's almost mercy.
Yeah, just keep in mind, like, they aren't our prisoners, so, like, they will have say before us. Like, they were the ones that brought him in. We can say whatever we want.
Absolutely, but they actually gave us free reign here last session.
Inside,
Like legitimately, they said
doesn't mean we can't take him out.
So as those council members come around, you don't recognize. You don't. The only person that would recognize him was anybody that came in when the Council of 12 was up there. So I think that was Grond. Who was in the council hall when was that Emus? Where you came in? Only one of you came in when there was like 12 people up on that.
Oh, that was Mirajane, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So Mirajane, actually, you recognized two of these individuals, but none of the rest of you saw them during the limited council meeting very early in the morning when you were here. But Mirajane does recognize a couple of these guys, and they're like, both of them come in, and they're like, "What is going on here?"
You did say we could interrogate them. That's what we're doing.
This man has the right to has the right to trial. You can't be tortured for information.
Does he look tortured? He looked tortured before he got here.
Okay, this guy looks visibly shaken, and the other guy says, "This cannot be allowed. Who gave you permission to interrogate?"
To be fair, he's not tied up anymore, so he's probably just sitting there. He doesn't look tortured right now.
Oh, he's looking still at Grond. He's looking right at Grond. He's very much.
I want to look at Grond.
Well, yeah, he's very much afraid of Grond, and he's kind of trying to slink his way towards getting out. I mean, he's just moving half inch by half inch, but Grond's kind of giving him a couple inches to go, but you can get the sense that this guy wants to leave here very badly.
Look, guys, you told us we could question him, and that's what we did, but we physically did not harm him. He was shaken before we started talking to him.
Okay. So the first council
has been casted, by the way.
Yeah, so the first council member goes, "This is holding me up from meeting my mistress." And both council members kind of look at each other for a second. What? What? I said, keep your private business to yourself. That's what the first guy says. And then he turns and he's like, "We have to kill this prisoner." And then the other guy looks at him and goes, "No, there'll be no killing here."
When he says that, I'm gonna try and sneak around to cut off their escape.
Okay, so you roll me a stealth check there, buddy.
I would be zoning in on the dude that said that, by the way.
I got a 21 on the stealth.
Okay, yeah, you managed to get between them and the exit. And the one guy that talked about the mistress kind of looks at the other guy, and you get the impression from the look in his face that he senses something is up. And the other guy, having said about killing him, kind of is like looking back and forth without quite saying anything, and he's starting to move backwards towards the exit. He's like, "We must go and
kill him." And Grond is now.
That's not what I meant.
Grond is going to come out of the cell, and he's standing at full height, full nobility. He is putting it all on right now. So he is putting his full nobility in place.
On his ass.
You can see the guy is almost struggling, and he's like, that is what I meant to say.
And why?
Why what?
Intimidation. Why kill him? And Nat 20 with a +7, 27.
Well, he knows too much. And then the guy looks beside him at the other guy, and then he turns and makes a dash.
Might I interject? So Telemon Drake, is it?
How do you know my name? And he's running he turns and runs for the entrance. Okay.
Emus
Grond
is so proud right now. You guys are a bunch of interrogators. This is awesome.
Grond is not within distance, and he actually bolts past the first. He bolts past the first council member and directly over Bops. So he literally runs into you and over top of you, collapsing on the other side, face first on the floor. Bops, you almost didn't even feel a nudge as his legs just toppled right over top of you. He's quite a tall man, so he's 6'7". Yeah, so he's a very tall and imposing man, but he's lean. He's not bulky. But you get the sense that he may have at one point been a warrior.
Is he a normal human?
What's that?
Is he a normal human?
Oh
yes. Bops?
I'd like to cast sleep on him if he's like still trying to get away.
Oh, he's turning around and attempting to get up and walk out of here for sure.
Yeah,
as soon as he falls over Bops, Grond is going to go and he is going to try and grasp him.
Okay, you reach over top of Bops quite easily, and I'm just going to get you to throw me a little grapple, please.
Ooh, 16 plus bonuses.
Oh, yeah.
That'll be like what in athletics? So
no problem. You basically basketball palm this guy's entire back and scrunch his clothes up into a tight ball in your fist and yank him back to his feet. You now have a dangling and frantic council member within the zone of truth just inside the door.
Make sure he talks in front of the other council members.
Well, we got the zone of truth right now. Who are your accomplices in the kidnapping of Elsith? Now!
Kidnapping? He's like, I know nothing about any kidnapping.
Is the zone of truth still going?
Zone of truth is still going.
Okay. So just wait, what was Sir Telemann Drake? What was he imposed of? Oh, receiving bribes from Uruk, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what do you receive bribes from Uruk Hingar for?
Oh, he's like, I pay off one of the other council members responsible for the prisons.
What?
Who is that council member? Name?
Selas. S-E-L-A-S.
He sure does sell ass.
Selas. Yeah.
In the prison.
S-E-L-A-S. Yeah.
How are you working with the Thieves Guild? How are you working with Amangul?
He looks frantic. He's like, I am working with them for money. And the other council members just like, this is crazy. I have to get the other council members. And he tries to get by Bops. He has to we have to let the council know this is a usurper in our organization.
Are you one as well?
I am not in league with this awful.
Awful. Nice name.
It was.
Teach him how to swear later.
Yeah. O-F-F-A-L.
Then I trust you within this zone of truth to go and gather the other council members.
Yes, he says thank you. I will do so at once.
And
please bring him to the main room so that we may convene on this immediately.
May we have him shackled properly so I do not have to accost him.
You see the council member look at one of the guards towards the about halfway down the hall, and that guard marches over. You see that he's got shackles and manacles hanging from a loop on his belt, and he unhinges those and prepares to shackle a man's ankles.
Talk to the guard. Can I trust you?
He's like, trust me? He's like, I just do what I'm told. I'm merely going to shackle this man and then return to my post, sir.
Do you take
bribes? An honorable one? Do you take bribes?
He's not in the room.
This is true.
Dang.
So, I want to ask this Telemann Drake guy what he knows of Amangul's plans.
Oh, you see his eyes get really wide. He's like, we know nothing of the cult. We do small services. We know nothing of their intent.
Why? All for money?
He's like, no, yes, for money. For shitloads of money.
Where are they from?
And how do you need to buy your survival come the end of life?
He's like, nobody knows where they're from. And he emphasizes they.
Who's they?
He's like, those things.
What things?
It's like I don't know what they are.
Are they those
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah.
those skeleton zombie wizard
Yeah.
creeps? Is that they?
Barf, barf. We're not just doing this for money. We're doing it for a shitload of money. Oh, you're right, boss. You're right. I love the fucking show. All right, so
space bucks.
yeah, a million space bucks. Fine, but try to save the car if you can. It's a Mercedes SL Deluxe Edition. I got it from my cousin. I love that.
Really good deal.
Yeah, really good deal. He just looks like now he's kind of subsided into the fact. How long does that zone of truth last?
10 minutes.
Yeah, 10 minutes. Okay, so you guys got about 5 minutes in.
Effectively for this guy forever.
Like I was just asking him if it was those skeleton wizards that are they, or is there more powerful ones?
No, he's like, that's them. We don't know what to call them, and few of us who have seen them have even lived.
How many are there?
We don't know. We just know that they have control of things.
What
Control
thing?
of people.
The Thieves Guild?
He's like, I don't know. I know quite a bit about the Thieves Guild. And then he looks like he's like, oh.
Tell us everything you know about the Thieves Guild.
He's like, the Thieves Guild run racketeering, kidnapping. They pay me off. They pay me to lie. And he's trying to resist just saying anything further.
This is the best spell ever.
I know.
It's so fun.
So, where's the Amangul's base of operation?
Amangul's base of operation? I don't know. Search the old tower. Perhaps he's moved back into his old domicile.
And
does he know anything about the mountain that we were supposed to scout?
If you know about the Thieves Guild, what do you know about the stolen dagger?
He says, you know of the dagger. He's like, it was my bribe that assured that dagger would not make it to its destination.
Well then.
Oh.
huh.
He falls silent, kind of hangs his head. You have killed me.
You have killed yourself.
Yeah.
You owe me a beer.
Yeah, I do. And I give him a whiff of the suds in the face.
Suds in the face. Nice.
And I recall there was something with a Tamian and a Gort, about 500 gold pieces, to two noblemen or some noblemen in Calyndra. That was a long time ago, but I got it in the noggin. Do you know of them, the Tamian and Gort? Two fighters.
I've never heard of them.
Huh. All right.
My dog snarls very viciously at him. In the cutest way possible.
Yeah, he kind of shrinks away from your dog a little bit.
I got one more question for you, Teleman, telling me a banana.
I got one more too.
What is the best way to bring down the Thieves Guild?
Oh, I'm losing you here, boss. It's like you feel the effects start to wave. Sorry, he's like, what was the question? You can feel him kind of trying to pull out.
Well, we can cast it again. I suppose
Yeah.
in front of the council might be more appropriate.
What did you ask?
Oh, I asked him what is the best way to bring down the Thieves Guild.
You can't bring down the Thieves Guild. And he just looks at you dead in the eyes.
And I laugh. Teleman, a banana. You're pretty funny.
He's like, you've killed me, and you've killed any who were connected to the information you now know. You've killed yourselves. You're no match for them.
We've heard
Listen,
that.
Tallywhacker, was the bribe you were paid enough to be worth your life? Obviously not. So you obviously have no fucking clue.
He just
Going to approach him very, very slowly and just very quietly ask him, what the name Brieger means to him.
I've never heard of Brieger. Down in the distance, a few of you hear the big double doors into the entrance of the council chambers shut, and you kind of hear the commotion dying down as they've ushered most of the people out of the council chambers. The guards at the end of the hall swing the doors open wide, and you can see it's empty in there, save for whoever must be seated above waiting for you to come out.
Let's bring them. Do you got that zone ready, Mirajane?
Oh yeah.
Okay, you guys walk the prisoner down the hall, and some of the guards, just kind of look at this guy evilly as he walks by, and you guys head into the main council chambers, and you turn once you're in the center to see that there is 11 members of the council convened, including the guy that was just down there.
We're gonna recast the spell.
Okay, so you cast the spell. You almost see a couple of people stir for a moment, and then a couple of the other ones kind of usher them to be quiet and let you do what you're going to do. And you feel this zone of truth spread outward from your target area.
Do we know who the other council member is?
Yeah.
We know the name, but do we know the face?
The sellout.
Yeah, Sellas?
The sellout Sellas.
Yeah.
And
you don't know what the face looks like.
Okay, I'm gonna blatantly just ask who he is.
Okay.
Full room. Raise your hand.
Okay. As soon as you say the name, this is madness. One of the gentlemen stands up. He's got gold and white robes, and he's got this weird collar. He stands up and he's like, "This is inappropriate."
Okay. Can I give you a suggestion on him to say, "Come into the zone of truth"?
Yeah, I want to put both of them either he comes or we go to him.
Okay, you actually see him begin to run down the stairs, and there's two guards at the bottom of the stairs leading down from where the counselors are all seated, and the guards start marching up towards the thing. A couple of the other counselors stand up, and one lady shouts, "Seize him!"
Does the suggestion work on him?
Sorry, which suggestion?
Oh, I'm going to cast suggestion on him to come walk to the zone of truth.
Okay. Yeah, he does not pass a wisdom saving throw, I believe, is for that.
Yeah.
He's pulling that
he
Chris
does not.
move.
He does not pass, and he comes over and stands right in front of you.
Now, see, that wasn't so hard.
And he just appears kind of blank.
Now tell us everything you know about you working in the Thieves Guild.
Okay. The man recants a wonderful story. For the next 20 minutes, he describes an intricate network of thieves and bribery and scandal that really just infests so many parts and so many levels of the political structure of Calyndra. And there are a few gaps in his story, but you just hear the gasps of awe from some of the council members up there. And one of the council members stands up and is like, "This is enough." So what you guys were able to glean in the minutes that he did is that the
Emus was writing everything down.
The Harper's area is being used as a place to accost people of importance. That is where they lured Elsith and the other council member, and under the assumption that they were in possession or going to purchase a rod of truth. That purchase went awry, and they were captured and taken from that location to another location across the alley and into a building there where there's a secret entrance down into the sewers.
Ooh, fun.
Yeah, but he has never been down there. So that is the one vital clue. The rest of it appears to be a lot of political and scandal associated stuff, including some bribes being ushered, and the participation of both of these individuals in basically handing over the Dagger of Destiny and the information as to its whereabouts and transport to the Sember Thieves Guild, who, working in conjunction with the Calyndra Thieves Guild, were able to learn the whereabouts of that caravan and seize its contents. And now those contents are apparently being the intended delivery was the Thane Spire in the Blood Ice Peaks.
Oh, we were just there.
And so apparently there is a forge beyond the Thane Spire, deep within the mountain, that was abandoned long ago by the dwarves. And that forge is the original location where the key to the Black Gate guarding Amankul's phylactery, that's where that key was originally forged and imbued with magical properties. And that is the only place that the Dagger of Destiny can be reforged into a key.
This spell's fucking amazing.
So we gotta go to Thane Spire.
Yes.
Or to Sember to pick up that dagger.
So the other council members are actually saying that the rest of this pertains to business dealings and some of the sullied habits of some of these council members. As she stares around, and a couple of the guys are just like, this guy divulges a couple of things that are more pertaining to mistresses and bribes to keep quiet about visits to the concubines and things like that.
I say, never have I ever.
Yeah, and so there's a lot of harumphing on that council board right now.
When they point that out, sorry, Kelly, when they point that out, I'm going to be just yell out to everybody and be like, and all of you here, be forewarned, because now you have witnessed this is the time of truth, and your choices will determine your fate. You can run, but you can't hide from the truth.
One of the council members leans over and says, we're familiar with the zone of truth you speak of, and familiar with suggestion spells as you've used, Master Gnome. What we are a bit confused by is how you managed to break this individual. And she gestures towards the bartender. We had tried before and failed.
If you guys know the zone of truth, how do you not know the spell magic?
Didn't know that was a component. Zone of truth.
You didn't realize that common sense was an important facet.
They appear quite offended, and she sits. She's like, our interrogation methods are more civilized than yours. And a couple of the people kind of sneer at her.
I'll take him over civilized, and he is unharmed physically.
Okay, so you see some of the guards coming in to bustle them back down to the prisoners' chambers. We will take the prisoners from here. You take what information you have, and by order of the council, you must undertake this task.
Yes, and that is what I meant by bringing this era of truth, not just some spell, but bringing
not that, Master Gnome. You must find Elsith and this other council member.
We do what we want.
And she leans over as the guy's like being pulled out of that zone of truth. One moment, and the guards kind of stop with him kind of hazy still in it. And she says, what of this rod of truth we were to acquire that would have broken your spirit sooner? And the guy says, was nothing but a lie to begin with. And the guards kind of usher this guy down.
Well, I think we should go find Kite and Calyndra. Hopefully they haven't killed anybody yet. And see what's up with this tavern and this door with a sword slash on it.
So yeah, you saw that was out the back door and across the alley to a door with a sword slash on it. That was at the back of the Harper's area. Or Harpy's area, yeah.
Grond, are you able to message Calyndra so we can meet up with them?
We will do so.
I'm just going to say, God damn it, this time we're not putting bags over our head.
Agreed. You guys feel your pagers buzzing, Calyndra. you look down to see Grond's number on there.
Yeah.
411.
How do I ignore a pager? Pretty sure
Yeah.
you just ignore it.
Kevin.
So you guys left the the council chambers open after they get the prisoners out, and you guys just see the council members chattering between them, and most of them appear to have ignored you now.
I'm gonna yell back as they're leaving. Era of truth, and let it echo in the halls.
Oh yeah, you kind of startle the council members for a moment, and they look at you. There's a moment of awkward silence as they stare at you, expecting something more.
And I send a flash of sparks in the air. That's it. That's all I got. That's what you get, counselor.
Yeah, you get a couple of what the hell looks from a few of them, and you hear them start arguing with each other. It's like, my wife, you have some nerve, as one leans over the other, and there's a kind of a bit of scuffling happening on top of that dais there. You guys are free to leave if you so desire.
What do you think? Should we go meet up with them? Anything else we need to do aside from make sure the puppy pees?
So you guys do a mage hand high five in the middle of the chambers.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Little Scooby-Doo moment going on there. So you hear one of the counselors being dragged off, and we would have succeeded too if it wasn't for you meddling adventurers.
What are you gonna do about it? Yeah. Oh, that's right, nothing.
As Bops reaches up to pull this guy's face off. Who have we got here?
Just like
old man Withers.
Oh God, why? My face, my beautiful face.
Yeah, it's just his skull. So yeah, you guys are free to leave. So while everybody is considering their next move, leaving from the main council chambers, and what you guys are going to do next, we're going to call that 7 to 10 minute break here, and we're going to take a break, hit the washroom, refill our drinks, down some caffeine, whatever you're going to do, and we will see everybody back here in 10 minutes. I'm going to hang out here, so if anybody has anything to question or whatever, feel free.
Awesome. See you right away.
See you. Okay. We're all in 10. It's break time. Oh, yeah. Oh, for some reason, it's... Oh, there we go. So your weaponry, sir.
Yes, sir.
That's going to be fun. So they're going to be sturdy enough for you to do some climbing. But of course, with, great height and great weight
comes great fallability. But I also have the ability to cast spells without somatic components,
right?
Which is awesome,
right?
Which will help when I put them to mode 2, which is terrifying. But that being said, if I fall from great heights, I can feather fall from great heights.
Yeah, so you have feather fall as part of your spells, right?
Yep.
Yeah, good call.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Not taking another spill from the falls?
No, fuck that noise. Falling from great heights like the falls again. Yeah. So there's a number of different utilities. I figured I'd nerf them for damage, just because. I mean, the 2 great axes per round. I've been doing a lot of stuff lately that is effect damage, not damage.
Right.
And I figure that it's a good way to nerf so that he's not just super power damaging everything. Because it kind of it's not really like Grond is massively damaging, but I think I want him to have utility damage. Pardon the term. So
I was thinking
some of that other stuff.
I was thinking one interesting property that you could have, and there is a magic user with this spell in your midst, is heat metal. You could have those blades, heat right up.
But they would burn my arms then too.
Yeah, you would have to cast resist heat on the, imbue the gauntlet part with resist heat, and then have the blades cast heat metal.
Yeah, I just wouldn't want it for too long because it might untemper the metal, or it might weaken the metal over time, or even make it damageable. Essentially what I'm looking to get done is to get him enchanted to be able to damage creatures which need magical items to damage them.
Yeah, that's fair.
And that's essentially Grond's entire concept with these, is to have that ability. You remember the +4 defenders?
Yep.
I kind of want to have it like that. So if I've got it in the shield mode, I would like to have them potentially say +1 to defense and +1 to hit. But then if I turn them around, like, so kind of do the full swap over so it goes around to the other side of the wrist, so I'm full aggressive, I want it all straight up attack.
So yeah, it would be. I would think that after sufficient enchantment, what you would do is like a +4 enchantment, similar to the defender, where you could allocate certain points of attack to defense.
Yeah, and my thing is, if it was in defender mode, I would have 2 and 2, and that's it. And if
Right.
it was in attack mode, it would just be straight
So-
+4, just nasty.
Yeah, and I would think that that would cost in the tens of thousands of gold, and you would have to, like, there is a collegiate here for magic that here and in High Watch and in El Shanir and possibly in El Moraine that might deal in that sufficient level of magic, but yeah, it's going to be pricey.
Oh yeah, and I think Grond's willing to pay for it, for sure, just because it'll be a signature weapon for him. Like, just seeing those things would be nasty as fuck.
Oh
And I
yeah,
was hoping to get you to draw some art for him too.
sure.
Just make them look nasty. So it's
Yeah, no
basically
problem.
it's what do they call it? It's a clevis or a shackle hinge. So where the
Yeah.
whole thing all the way across is one big pin bushing,
Okay.
and then it's two shackles on either end that basically allow it to pivot up to 270 degrees per unit, and there's 6 of them
Okay.
between the wrist and the shield brace on the arm.
Yeah.
Shield brace comes about this wide, so when he's holding it, it's about the size of a buckler, but it's just got spikes. The
Yeah,
whole
okay.
thing, and then those 5 nasty, brutal claws.
Yeah. It's going to be fun to wield in combat.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to get to do it because I think it's going to be nasty. I mean, the damage they're going to do is going to be less, but I'm cool with that. I think just the sheer look of it, someone seeing Grond coming up with a pair of those things on his wrists, and it's just intimidation factor.
Yeah, some people might have an intimidation factor for sure. Yeah, it slices, it dices, it turns people into julienne fries.
Pretty much. That's kind of the goal. But I mean, I sent the write-up and everything to Emus, and he's like, I love it. He's like, I love the way you've kind of got it written out and the hope and despair, because you've got to hope. Turn them around. Nah, dude, you're fucked. Just
Yeah.
run.
Yeah. Oh man, this is gonna get interesting. Unfortunately, you're in a city now. Like, this is your guys' first big city. You've been from El Moraine, but El Moraine is like a third the size of Calyndra.
I also have to find out the area where I'm from. Now, you've mentioned it before in conversation, but I've never written it down, and it's always been in passing.
Yeah, are you talking the like original ogre encampment that you would have been born in, or the El Moraine?
Grond was born to the noble family, right?
Right.
So he was born. I've got some names and I've got some stuff off to the side, but nothing set in stone, just because I don't want to mess up any of your potential noble families, but there's going to be hundreds and thousands of them.
Sure.
But anyways, and yeah, so I've got a bit of his backstory is really starting to polish up a bit. But when I'm starting to near that area, Grond is probably going to be kind of reserving and pulling back, and I don't know if we're anywhere near that area right now.
No.
Okay, good.
Yeah. No, you're a week out of El Moraine for sure.
Okay, and I don't remember where Grond's home territory was.
Yeah, home territory was northwest of that. Yeah, northwest of El Moraine, more closer to the mountains and the city of Rael, where you ran into Calyndra in the first part. And El Moraine, you were in the northeastern quarter of El Moraine, and that's where the houses of nobility tend to be. Most of them are segregated over there, the older houses.
Yeah, so he would have been theoretically from that area up until he was like 4, maybe 5, and then after that shipped out, and then no further contact with family.
Okay, yeah. Now you do know, however, you have like a very knowledgeable about where exactly your house is. Should you return there, where your family home, like where you
Yeah,
were raised.
I would probably have some old memories of like what the buildings and what the houses and everything looked like,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Even though I don't know the family name, even though I would probably remember the family crest, which would probably be the one thing that would be a pain. So Grond would have to avoid that. Or seeing or diving too much into family crest, because he might, if he saw his, he'd be like, oh shit.
How far west is your hometown?
About a week's ride from here.
Ooh, we're close. Got some fam you want to drop by?
Nope.
Hard
Just kidding.
pass.
I know. Emus has traveled a long way from Alshanir. Yeesh.
Yeah, but he's not well traveled. Emus pretty much headed straight east down the main road.
Yeah, no, I kept on the cart the whole time with reading kind of thing. Yeah.
Now Grond and Calyndra have kind of been all over the area near El Moraine, northwest of El Moraine, all around the city of Rael, the Blue Mountains and stuff around there. So they have some familiarity with that territory.
Yeah, no, not other than the maps I was given. I took that main road the whole way.
Yeah, and actually Calyndra has knowledge of where Kite's original home is located, but has never had personal interactions with the monks at Athrakul. Everybody have a good break.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to eat so much Chinese food after this.
Nice.
I did switch out one of my spells. When I gain a level, I get to switch spell for another as a bard.
Well,
I did take Zone of Truth, but I was thinking now, I don't know. You don't really need 2 zones, do you? There's a lot of truth.
We should share spell plans so we don't overlap so much.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good idea. I don't think we really do overlap. Like,
it's a clever batch of adventurers to work with. I mean, especially if I leave you guys alone for a week or two, then it gets really clever.
Oh yeah.
But even like matching your spell plans and stuff like that, that's a good way to, gain a lot of diversity on the spells that can be used.
And I don't think it's metagaming too much, because you kind of have an idea of what you work on for your development of your powers, right? And study for your spells or songs I want.
Yeah.
And
I'm sticking to a speciality, so when you're going like polymorph, stuff like that, that makes sense for your character, whereas Emus wouldn't do that. He's not interested in so I'm sticking towards a certain kind of detectiveness where you're going, I get the nature, the spread love, joy, and flip a coin to people. Grond's going on spells that are very useful in combat.
Yeah.
I get it. We have to learn what MD is doing.
Yeah.
So much random spells. Like, I just kind of choose what might be useful, maybe. I'll send you guys the list. Like, there's the list that comes with my domain, and then the spells that I'm able to choose.
You're a priest of the sun or something like that, right?
Light domain.
Light domain.
Yeah.
Cool.
So those spells come with my character on top of the 9 that I can learn right the current moment.
I think that God is...
Or are you looking for which?
Elena?
Elena?
But I'll type out my spells for you guys and send it off.
Yeah, she's Elena, goddess of wisdom and light.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, spells that are focused on wisdom and light. I don't know. Type in wisdom spells.
Yeah, I was thinking of maybe because I took out I had animal friendship, and I switched that out with dissonant whispers, and then I just switched that out for zone of truth. But I'll probably, and having discussed it with Mirajane, think of something else. I was thinking maybe comprehend languages.
That's always a good one to have.
Yeah.
Yep. Just in case, I can always prepare that one. But
Oh, you do have that one too? Okay.
no, we can. There's ways to get it, kind of thing, with lower level stuff. You can do switch outs with wizards, but I have to go.
Locate object might be useful.
Yeah, that'd be very useful, and I don't have a plan for that one.
Which one
Which
was
spell
that?
was that?
Locate object.
Mm.
Is that the spell you want to learn?
Well, I'm thinking about it. Either that or comprehend languages. But
Well, those are two very useful spells.
yeah, I
If
think
you want the languages, it's a ritual spell as well, so you don't really have to have it prepared. So either or, you take which one, and I'll go for the other kind of thing. So
so Emus already has access to that one. I might just take locate object then.
Yeah. It's one action, concentration up to 10 minutes.
But I haven't seen that dagger up close though, actually.
No, it has to be an object familiar to you.
Yeah.
okay, so you're going after locate object.
Well, maybe not here. Let me think.
And it has to be within 1,000 feet of you.
Curious with the locate object, if we were to talk to Elsith and him, like, if he has magic capabilities of putting in your mind the image of that object.
So Emus has the ability to communicate and read people's thoughts and see imagery within their thoughts. So Emus could, if he communicated with somebody that knew or had seen the dagger, he could glean enough visual information to use locate object.
The dude that we just interrogated?
He's never seen.
He just arranged it.
Oh. Okay. So Elsith.
Elsith, wherever Elsith is. Where indeed.
We can chat about that one in chat, Bops, but we'll talk about that after.
Okay.
Spell plans are fun for you, like, again, we don't want to overlap.
Yeah, I think we should have like a plan as we're like a crew together.
Well, since I'm a cleric, I like to be all healy.
So yeah, like I was gonna pick Raise Dead when I get 5th level spells, but you'll probably pick that, right? So
Not me.
yeah.
Oh, Raise Dead? I get that as a necromancer.
Oh, so we could all raise the dead. Oh my goodness. Really?
Hey, I'm always about, because that one's actually useful to have more, because you just raise more bodies. It's not like we're overlapping on the same skill to do stuff. We just build an army of bodies, like cast meat shields, you know.
Well, wouldn't that also like raise a party member, raise dead? Like if they died, you could.
As long as they haven't been dead for longer than 10 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think they come up undead, don't they?
Well, if the creature's soul is both willing and at liberty to rejoin the body, the creature returns to life with 1 hit point.
Ooh, okay, I like that. Let's do that one next. Yeah.
The spell also neutralizes any poisons and cures non-magical diseases that affected the creature at the time it died. This spell doesn't, however, remove magical diseases, curses, or similar effects. If these aren't first removed prior to casting the spell, they take effect when the creature returns to life. The spell can't return an undead creature to life.
So this is the one where we later on have to collect diamonds. So that's what I've been focusing on, is these big, large-fisted things that Kelly describes and stuff like that. We have to collect as many of those as we can. And then we can save party members, and Grond can go do whatever he wants, and we can find his dead body and be like, oh, Grond did it again.
Grond doesn't intend on dying. Sometimes it just almost happens.
Yeah, well.
Won't be as dangerous.
Yeah. We spent 1,000 gold pieces in gems lately. Like, come on, let's stop. Stop dying here.
Life will kill you.
Learn to climb a hill.
As you guys are walking
Shush.
out of the council chambers and towards, is everybody leaving out the front doors to go elsewhere, or are you dispersing to your rooms? It is nighttime.
Yeah, I'm gonna disperse to my room.
Okay.
Should we post a guard to watch the guards down here to make sure these three don't die?
I'm feeling like we better get on this because I don't think it's going to take long before the Thieves Guild figures out we're messing around in here. We better get the jump on them right now in the night. As quick as we can, I think. I mean, if we got to get something in our room or get a puppy to pee, then okay, but I think we better go right away.
Oh my.
I don't know. If we let these thieves guilds get off scot-free every time, I think we might be the only one being able to deal justice to these.
Exactly. And they got Elsa.
Burn down the guilds.
I think we
Burn
better
down.
go.
I think the thieves guilds need a new figurehead and gain some honor. We need to do a coup and instill that figurehead.
I think that's
All I
exactly.
could hear was my stepdad. As soon as he said honor, I was like, I heard my stepdad go, you know what's better than honor? Inner. Waka, 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 waka. My stepdad, dirty old man. Anyway, moving on.
Grond's going to go to his room.
There's
And he's
wisdom
going
in
to change out of his noble's clothes.
Okay. Oh. Okay,
So,
well, Grond returns to his room to get changed.
Are we
Is
taking
everybody else doing?
on the plan of action? What are the options?
Well, we either go to this.
Find the guild first.
We either go to this tavern, or we go to this door with a slash on
Oh
it.
yeah, that thing.
Tavern has we have to move multiple people, or Grond moves this whatever out of the way, and that's where the people get in. Or you exit the back door, and across there's an unmarked door, except the marking is a slash.
I'm thinking we go into that slash door first, see what's in that building, and then head into the sewers after.
All right, and we all agree we're not putting hoods on.
We're not putting hoods on, and we're probably going to be doing a lot of killing. Sorry, just being honest.
Hey, I'm okay if the killing is necessary, right? Like,
DC's guild working with dark forces, they're doing way more harm than good. I'm feeling pretty confident I can be judge, jury, and executioner tonight.
well, honestly, in the
Let's just
dark,
come around to the side and let's just kill these thieves first.
also we're more equipped to be in the dark. Kite's Batman skills have gotten me more confident to be in sewers. I'm pretty sure we can take the edge on that one now.
Absolutely. And Ron's prestidigitation skills, I've taught him well. He's able to cover those smells pretty good too on his own now. So
He's here to
I'm ready for those.
hands up.
All right, so everybody, like after a while, Grond, you managed to get yourself changed and whatnot. Mirajane, Calyndra, you guys are all kind of bustling down with Gone, Bops, Emus, and Kite. Everybody kind of moving at as one.
I thought we were still at the
Yeah.
The council. Oh, you two are. Yeah,
Yeah.
you two got to catch up.
Yeah, we're already there though.
Yeah, we're going to go meet them.
So yeah, you guys are on the rooftop by the shuttered window on the top floor.
Yeah.
What are you guys going to do?
Can I open it with my mage hand?
Oh, hell no. No, seriously though, you can't. You find that it's locked. Or that it's been barred or shut from the other side.
Pick the lock.
What time of day is it?
night. It's like 8:30, 9 o'clock.
Can I reach it from the roof, or is it on one of those, like a dormer on the roof or whatever?
So you just have the wooden shutters there, and it appears that something, a latch or something on the other side of those shutters is keeping it closed. You can see glass on the other side.
Can I stick a blade in between the window shutters and try and lift the latch?
Hey. Here we go. Do me a little sleight of hand.
Hey, Calyndra, you want to help me out with this? This is your expertise, right?
Little advantage with sleight of hand.
Did you want me to try it, or?
Yes.
Yeah, if Calyndra wants to do it, Kite will assist. If she wants to assist, Kite, doesn't matter to me.
So it'll be 23.
Okay, you actually slide your dagger in and flick up the latch on the other side, and the shutters swing outward, revealing a window on the other side. The window is slightly ajar at the bottom and looks like it slides upward.
You know, Calyndra, just before things get hairy, I just want to say it is really nice getting to work with you. I feel like we don't do it enough.
She's like, you're okay, I guess.
I'll tolerate you for now.
Yeah.
Enjoy the moment. Jeez. And then she sneaks in.
Okay, so you slide up the window and you step down into what looks like an old attic. It is absolutely devoid of any furnishings, and there is a light coating of dust on the floor. However, in the area that you step down into, you can see that there is a well-worn and clean path leading from the base of the window to a set of stairs leading down.
We hear anything before we head down?
Okay, roll perception.
20.
We're going like full stealth on this too.
Okay, so approaching the stairs, you hear the muffled sound of voices from down below.
Can we make out anything?
Nope, but peering over the stairs, you can see that the stairs lead down to a small landing about maybe 6 feet by 10 feet, and then there is a set of doors at the other end.
Using stealth, I'll head down there and see if I can get closer to make out what they're saying.
Okay, roll.
And that has a plus 10 from, yeah.
Sure does. Oh, check this out. Got a motherfucking 40.
Yeah, it is dark in here, by the way, other than the moonlight streaming in from outside.
I can see okay, though, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys go down, and what did you roll for stealth, sorry?
26.
And by you guys,
never rolled that high before.
I meant you girls, you ladies, head downstairs towards the. You warrior adventurers head down the stairs towards the base of the landing without killing your DM, and you can hear the voices get louder on the other side of the door. It sounds like somebody talking on the left and the right side of the door.
What are they saying? Can we make anything out yet?
You can barely make out some casual conversation. It just sounds like one guy is discussing where to go after their shift ends. And it sounds like one guy's discussing a bar nearby.
Has he said the name of it?
The Boar's Head Tavern.
Was that where we were just at? Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I think I'll head down there for a drink when this is over. How much longer we have on this shift? And you hear the other guy grumble, at least a couple of hours.
I think we just keep listening in and try.
Smells like players plotting in here.
We'll probably just listen in and see if we can get close enough to maybe make out some faces. But yeah, maybe just like we want to find out who these people are, but we'll just be doing surveillance, like not actually engaging them.
Okay, it appears to be just a lot of conversation that's nonchalant, casual conversation about daily life stuff. They seem like a couple of pricks. They kind of talk down about people that they've encountered, and you're getting a general sense that these two are a couple of assholes. But at one point, it kind of falls silent, and you hear footsteps coming from the distance. And everything kind of falls silent for a moment.
Which direction? Are they coming from, up or down?
They are coming from straight ahead of you.
Should we head back up the stairs?
Okay. You hear the name Mandrake.
Fuck.
Mean anything to us?
Mandrake.
I think we heard him before when we were in the mines.
And you hear the doors click,
Mandrake.
and they begin to swing open.
I'm heading up the stairs.
Are they like deafening like they are in Harry Potter?
Kite will follow you after, but she's just gonna stay and try and see if she can see these guys or see what they look like.
Okay, so the doors swing open, and you can see that there are two people stationed, apparently as guards, but dressed in fairly, shall we say, thievish garb on either side of the stores. And it appears there's another person, a statuesque woman, dressed in fairly fine clothing, but again, seems to be either a warrior of some kind. She seems a little thin to be a heavy-duty warrior, so you get the kind of thievish impression from her as well. As she passes between two individuals, nods to the one on the right, and begins to ascend the stairs.
Ascend?
Ascend, coming up.
Okay, I will continue up the stairs. I'm actually going to cast invisibility on myself at this point.
Okay. Okay, you feel yourself go invisible. Okay.
Yeah, Kite will do a ninja shadow step into a rafter or something.
Okay, you
She's
can
doing
definitely do that.
Roof, trying to just blend into the shadows.
Poof, poof. And you find yourself up in the rafters, basically looking down on the scene as that lady thief comes up and heads towards the window and sees that it's open. And she begins to look around.
She does not see any footprints, though. In the dust.
Okay, she doesn't notice any footprints, and she looks around for a moment, looks up, does not see you in the shadows, and then she looks down and she's like, "Did one of you leave this open? You know better. You know what the punishment for doing this is." And a couple of the guys stammer, like, "We didn't leave anything open. We haven't been outside all night." And then she's kind of looking around. She goes over to the window, and you see her hesitate for a moment, and then she slips out, slides the window closed, and closes the window. And then you hear the footsteps of the guys coming up from their guard positions down below.
And yeah, Kite's just going to continue to just watch surveillance.
Okay.
Same with Calyndra.
Okay, you guys watch as these guys ascend the stairs, and one of them goes over to the window and closes the latch on the inside of the window. And then the two of them kind of have a look around. And they do not appear to see either of you, and they begin to go down the stairs back to their posts.
And Grond and Calyndra, you guys are kind of messaging each other too. You're.
Yeah, you'll have to let me know if you're firing any particular message back and forth. I don't know if you guys are keeping a constant, chatter back and forth.
Yeah, I don't think I can cast message when I'm invisible, otherwise it'll end the spell.
Oh.
Yeah.
But before that, we would have, right when we finished the council meeting, I think we were trying to message you, right, to find where you were. And
yeah, I would have kept up until that, letting you guys know we're going in.
Yeah.
And then maybe just been radio silence or something when we're in an invisible act.
Yeah.
Okay.
But has Kite gotten a good look at this woman's face and the guards and whatnot?
Yep. You don't recognize any of them though, but you definitely managed to lock their.
Yeah,
So
that was goals to find our mark, and looks like we found them.
Yeah, so these you hear the doors at the bottom of the stairs close.
So they left, kind of thing.
Yep.
She'll wait a couple minutes, but once it seems like the coast is clear, she'll kind of signal to Calyndra that it's probably time to go.
Okay, you guys drop back down and rejoin each other. Bops, what are you up to?
I'm just waiting for, I think, Mirajane and Grond to come back down from their room. I think I'm just chilling with Emus.
Okay, what are the both of you doing? Emus? What are you up to?
I'm just going to be looking around for, like, ninjas and Thieves Guild, like, seeing if we're being watched at all.
Okay, so a fairly heavy dose of paranoia sets in for Bops as he starts checking the curtains fairly regularly. Emus is not helping at all. Emus's general overbearing sense of paranoia has apparently infected the small gnome. Emus, what are you doing?
Okay, so last I remember before the break, we were making our way up out of the chambers.
Yep.
Okay. Was anyone following us? Or weren't we going as a group?
For a time.
Yeah, we could just be following everybody to the room.
Grond went off to get changed, so whether or not it's up to Ty whether or not Grond came back and rejoined you guys as you were slowly walking.
Oh, yeah, he got out of his nobility clothes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm getting into the grubbies.
Right.
Yeah.
So getting ready to rock. And Mirajane, what are you up to?
Oh, I wouldn't have been in my room that long. I probably have joined Bops by now.
Okay. Let me just. Can I get a roll? Roll a d20 for me, please.
2.
2? Your dog has shit on the floor.
I let it out before he came in. That's unfair.
You didn't mention it. Huh?
Dire wolves.
And I mean the size of it. Even Grond would be like.
I'll
Okay, well, I'll clean it up.
Okay, I'm not sure what you're cleaning it with. I'm assuming you're just wrapping some bed sheets around it and shoveling it into the corner.
Oh, I'm sure bags exist in your world.
Well,
In fact, do.
Only for PCs to put on their heads.
Yeah, we're seeing a little pet responsibility going on here. That's what we're doing. So we're going to assume you clean up a mess, and at what point do you rejoin the rest of the group?
Probably after that.
Okay, so you guys see Mirajane come down from a hallway and looking slightly disgusted and a touch disappointed. Her dog is trotting along beside her, looking quite satisfied and smug about it.
I'm gonna be like, good boy.
Yeah, just wagging his tail.
I'm like, remember feelings, Mirajane. Feelings.
Yeah. Slaps a big old tongue upside Bops' cheek.
So
I can see
if you have a rig,
and feed me and my dog.
Yeah. No prestidigitation for you, Mirajane?
I don't know that spell.
That's right.
If you had a rag and prestidigitation, if you mixed it in and then cast it on the rag, would that work?
No.
What?
No. It's not transferable prestidigitation by osmosis.
You just rub a bit on it, be like, and then rub a bit more, and like.
Oh man, even chat's exploding with the poop comments. Hey, thanks for joining us, by the way, Jason. Thanks for hanging out tonight. Yeah, we've got serious. Oh yeah, nothing like floating direwolf crap.
No,
yeah.
I don't have that spell either.
You do have open windows, so you basically manage to clean it up, toss it out a window at the front there, into some bushes outside. Unless you're gonna, toss it in your own chamber pot to be cleaned by the attendants later.
And I'm gonna go to Mirajane. I'm like, okay, we're gonna be sneaking in a thieves guild base. I don't know if a puppy is really the best place for the.
It's not, but puppy ain't going anywhere but with me.
Okay.
Cast without trace, person that knows it.
Yeah.
Here also, we have to do a rendezvous, share information about each other's days of spine and interrogations, and they also got a shit ton of loot. But we also have to figure if we're doing this at night or we should start during the day with our investigations.
I think we should go right now because the longer we wait, the more the Thieves Guild are going to find out that we're here and we're coming. And we're looking for Elsith. And we have, got to the bartender. And they're going to learn that we got to the counselor. They probably know it already, that their counselor pigeon is exposed. So I think we better get in there right now. If they want to live, they'll, give up and we'll just tie them off as you go hunt the other people down. If they want to fight, they're all going to, and that's what's going to happen tonight.
All right, let's spend at least a short rest and make a plan.
Oh, yeah, you need a little spell slottage, I say.
Yeah, you got me.
Okay. So it's nighttime. You guys have the option to be going to bed or, in communication with Grond, Calyndra, and Kite are trying to coordinate an effort involving...
Rendezvous.
Yeah. So you guys are attempting a rendezvous?
That's what I believe we are.
Well, if you guys are if we made it back up onto the roof and get back to our loot there.
You can, yeah.
Yeah, then if you're messaging Grond and they're saying that they're coming here, we can just rest while we wait for them.
Okay, so you guys step back out onto the roof?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you do, I'm going to get a perception check from both of you, please.
I'm gonna be looking to see if anyone's up there before I pop right up.
And Kite's looking for traps to see if that lady armed that with anything.
Well, I'm assuming you guys gave it about 10 minutes before attempting to exit. Okay.
Did.
Yeah, so it's not stepping out of the roof and seeing her. It's stepping out of the roof. You hear some voices from down below at street level.
I rolled a 20.
Okay, so you guys look down and you see a couple of dark figures wearing hooded cloaks. One of them has a hood up over her head. The other person appears to be a younger blonde woman with pigtails and a sword by her side. She's got a huge scar that runs down the right side of her face. And they're having a brief moment of conversation. You're unable to discern exactly what they're saying. And then both of them head towards the main street where you can see people are kind of walking back and forth.
Was she a familiar-looking blonde lady? Okay, just making sure.
Yeah.
Then is it? Do they look like they were was one of them the lady that we saw in the building?
No.
Or any of them at all?
Nope.
They just came out of the building we were just in, and then they left to the main street.
I wonder if they were coming to pick up the money.
They leave and they rejoin basically the main traffic that's going north to south and south to north, and they head north out of the alley.
Is that towards our apartment?
Away from the Harper's area, opposite direction. Harper's area is south of where you guys are.
Is the Harper's? Go on, Lynette.
I was going to ask, which direction are we staying at?
So this building where you guys are is about a block and a half north of the Harper's area, and it is east of the council hall by about 11 blocks.
Should we maybe tail them, or because they came out of this building, right?
They did, yeah. Out of the door with the slash across the door, the marked door. Yeah, they came out of there.
Yeah, let's just stick to the rooftops and see if we can try and...
Okay.
I'll just message
Grond.
Okay. And is Ty's thing frozen or is he gone? I'm trying to figure out whether or not...
He's gone.
Okay, yeah, no problem. Calyndra, or what is Mirajane up to? with her dog, Gone Bops, Emus, you guys all kind of joined up there with Grond as you were exiting.
If he's receiving the messages,
Yeah,
He is.
He said he'll be
Aren't
here.
we supposed to be coordinating to go? I don't know.
Meet up with
storm
the rest of you?
thieves
Yeah.
and stuff. I will need to talk to Kite about a pass without trace on my dog.
Okay. They're still throwing poop in chat over here. That's good. Way to go. Way to go, J-Man. Juggle that one around for a bit.
You have yourself, Kelly.
Shit. Literally. Shit. So you guys are able to coordinate getting to the relative same area that like Grond can lead the way if you want. You guys have to kind of work your way about 10 or 11 city blocks to reach the intersection heading south towards the Hyper's area where Calyndra and Kite are basically hovering on the rooftops. That is your intended destination, I take it?
If we're leaving the point where we told them to meet us, I'll just tell them to wait for us there, and if we'll catch up with them again. We'll head back to that spot.
All right. So it actually takes them about 5 to 7 minutes here just to kind of work their way through the crowd casually towards that, down those several blocks towards where you guys were. What are you doing other than staying there waiting for their arrival?
Maybe before we follow those shadowy guys, maybe it would be better to just meet up with the group here and investigate their hideouts as a group. What do you think?
We can follow them for a little bit, see if they meet up with anybody else. Because, if we have to wait for them to come, may as well get any information we can.
Now, you guys do know that you had permission from the council to investigate the Harper's area for any clues.
Yeah.
We do now, do we?
Yep. So you know that even though it's guarded, you pretty much think that you'd be fine to approach and be let in.
Huh. Okay. Well, maybe we can investigate the tavern without going into those sewers.
Who has the seal of Calyndra that was given to you by Aiden?
It was Grond.
I think so, yeah.
We also have a third point of investigation where those gentlemen Elsith and other fine gentlemen are lured to down by the docks.
No, that's the Harper's area. There is no docks here.
That's the tavern.
Okay, so that's where they get lured to.
Yeah.
Harper's, and then if we have to, Grond will push that door out of the way.
Okay, so getting there, you see that the front door has been boarded up. There's a few boards that are basically nailed across the front of this thing. And Calyndra and Kite, are you guys going to come down, make yourselves known? You guys are going to rejoin the group?
Maybe with a bit of showman's flair, but I guess once we see the group, maybe we can jump down behind them or something.
Okay, so you guys are kind of standing there, and you get shadowy Kite, and Calyndra seems to leap in from absolutely nowhere, and both of them rejoin your group.
Good to see.
All together again.
Yes.
And you're standing out front. There are 2 guards stationed on the left side and 2 guards stationed on the right side, and a long staircase that leads up to the front deck and front door of what looks like a decent quality establishment. And you see the this kind of sigil of a bird with obvious female breasts and some weird scraggly looking face, and it says the Harper's Eyrie. And then underneath Eyrie, there's kind of a symbol of a nest.
Weird image to have in my head.
Yep, right.
There's much for us to discuss. Let's head into this tavern. The drink is still good, and
so you get up to the front and notice that it's all boarded up and it's dark inside. And the guards make no attempt to stop you. They see you and they seem to recognize who you are.
Are the windows boarded up?
Flash the Calyndra badge.
Okay, you see one of the guards nod.
Crime scene investigators here.
Yeah. One of the guards nods in acknowledgement of your CSI symbol, and you guys ascend the steps up to the front door. You see that there are 3 boards right across the front of the door, which Grond scores a bit of insight on and knows with some degree of ease he would be able to pluck those things from there.
Well, plucketh them, Grond.
Poof.
Pop them off.
Okay, you pop off the front end, and the door appears to have been broken inward. And once you peel off the nails holding those boards in place, the door kind of creaks inward to reveal a very darkened interior.
We should spend an hour or a half hour to share information before we enter in and formulate a plan.
Okay.
So you guys want to chat amongst you and kind of fill in Calyndra and Kite's little story, fills in exactly who they followed. You guys go into the details about being in the bar, following the guy with the wyvern's eggs, that whole exchange.
Kite's gonna let Calyndra inform them all, and she's just gonna kind of meditate for a half hour so she can get her chi back.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll just leave out the part of killing the guy.
Lies! That's not good for the team.
Convenience.
It's a mission.
So you
Terrible.
acquired some funds, did you?
Yes.
Excellent. How much did you acquire?
Oh, how much did we acquire, I think you mean.
Oh, we'll find out when we get back.
What shady shit. Okay. I'm going to reveal what we learned in the interrogation, and all the ties with the names and what happened. I'll let Bops or MJ describe what happened in the Zone of Truth, but I have my notes just in case.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell them all about Teleman Banana.
Tell him that.
Tallywhacker and Cell's ass.
Yeah.
Sells ass for sure. So you guys kind of bring each other up to speed, and as you're standing there, the door kind of creaks back and forth in the light breeze, and you can, your eyes adjust to the darkness inside. At least most of you with night vision do, and you can see that there appears to be a bit of a skirmish in this bar prior to it being boarded up. Tables are overturned, chairs knocked over, and the entire place looks like it's been tossed.
That's not a good sign, guys.
That's probably where they acquired the barkeep. He probably put up a fight, holding them off as long as he could.
If the door is kind of swaying back and forth, I'm just going to take a chair or something and push it up against.
Okay, so you
That
push a
works.
chair up against to keep the door closed, and
That way
as
then we can hear.
okay, roll me perception as you do that, please.
Crap.
It's a trap.
We're gonna get
12.
ambushed.
12? Okay, so yeah, the door kind of creaks noisily and you shut the door, but as you do so, you notice down the steps that two of the guards have moved into position to guard the stairs from anybody coming up.
We're getting ambushed.
And now you're standing in this bar. Emus, you can't see shit.
Nope.
Before we go in and before all that stuff, Kite could cast Dark Vision on herself and Emus there.
Hey, Emus, you can see shit.
I will thankfully nod to Kite. It was either that or ask for a torch. That's one thing I have to go purchase is torches. I'm still out.
Creeping around in this dark Blair Witchy kind of themed episode going on right now, and knowing that the entire bar needs to be moved, Grond, you can actually see somewhat of thin tracks on the ground in the direction that the bar apparently slides.
I can cast a light cantrip, guys.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Well, that'll mess up their newly found dark vision.
Yeah, you don't want somebody popping a flash off when you got thermal goggles
Sweet
on.
Jesus, the goggles!
I'm gonna cast it.
Okay,
The
poof.
thing is, if
And-
we're going down, we don't really want to alert anyone to our presence by the
Man,
light.
this is so
To be
familiar.
honest, I don't feel very right in this place anyways. I feel like this is actually a trap, so...
Yeah, for the record, Brit does that. She loves to do that too. When your eyes are all adjusted to the dark, just flick the light on. Poof.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So anyway,
douchebag.
yeah.
Ah!
And it's a shining, gleaming aura around Mirajane. So yeah, Grond, are you attempting to move the bar?
Yeah, Grond will go over there. If he can move it by himself, he'll do so.
I'll
Okay.
start searching for traps if she's really nervous about that too.
Okay, roll investigation. Anybody else assisting her?
Yeah, I will.
Okay, Mirajane gives you advantage.
I'm gonna step out and just by the doorway, and have the Raven go up to see what's or some entrance that is. Is there an entrance that's unguarded?
Well, there's just the front doors of this place. There's 2 shuttered windows they're absolutely shuttered and boarded up from the outside.
And at the front door there's still the guards.
Yep, there is a stairway leading up at the back side of the room as well.
All right, no, it won't work. I was looking to see if our entry into this summoned more guards to come, but I need to get a window or something to send the Raven out to see if we're getting ambushed and more guards.
There is a fireplace.
Oop. There we go. So up the chimney, the Raven goes.
Up the chimney, the Raven goes after coalescing into that smoky form and heads straight up.
Shake the sensor and get him going. What I'm specifically looking for, so I'm going to actually warg in, is to look if those guards that let us in have warned someone else or any other guards of our entry.
Yeah, you just see the 4 guards stationed at the bottom of the stairs. 2 of them have taken a place right in front of the stairs, barring any entrance or maybe exits, but barring anybody from the street side from being able to walk up the stairs.
All right, I relay that to the closest party member beside me.
Okay, and as you're relaying that, Calyndra, you actually find a small trapdoor on the floor just inside the bar. And Grond, you slide the bar about 7 feet in one direction to reveal a chamber that is sufficiently large enough underneath. It's a dark set of stairs descending below the bar.
Does my dog sense anything? I mean, dogs seem to have a weird sense of things.
Your dog is actually sitting right near the entrance, with its tongue kind of half hanging out of its mouth.
Okay.
I'm gonna open up this trapdoor, see what's down there.
Okay, you open up the trapdoor. Roll dexterity, please. Actually, roll wisdom.
Sure to check for traps.
12.
12?
12 for wisdom.
What did you roll?
I rolled a 10.
Okay, so and you feel a small dart zip out and poke you right in the thumb.
Check for traps.
Opening the thing, so you take 2 points of damage and you feel just a bit woozy.
Uh-oh. I go lesser restoration.
Okay.
Like these thieves are probably using poison.
Okay. Calyndra, you feel a sharp pain followed by a swift relief as nausea begins to overwhelm you and Bops' spell takes effect. And you open to reveal a small bag of what appears to be coins and a small chest, which has a lock on the front of it.
I will pick the lock with my mage hand.
Okay, roll sleight of hand.
Rolled a 1.
You roll a 1, and you see a small dart zip right through the mage hand. Poof! And Bops, I'm going to need you to roll a dexterity.
Oh, no.
No.
Dexterity saving throw?
Yes, please.
So that is 15.
Okay, you narrowly miss this dart as it whips by your head and sticks into an overturned chair just behind you.
Sorry, Bops.
Opening the lock on the chest is going to require another attempt.
Can I do it now, or do I have to wait?
Well, you've either got to wait a few minutes while Grond decides what he's going to do with this newly revealed chamber. If nothing else is going on from anybody else, then you can certainly take another roll now.
That was a 4.
Okay, 4. Gone,
Well,
Bops, you still standing in the same place? No, I'm just kidding.
11.
You got an 11? Yeah, you're still. You still managed to launch another dart.
Seriously?
Another dart.
What
Boom.
chest is
Damn it,
it?
Calyndra.
The chest is only this big.
How many freaking darts does this thing hold?
Let's just
How
hang
many
on.
times have you failed?
Shutting the trap
I
door,
will,
locking it, and walking away.
Okay, so you slam the thing, walk away. Are you taking the sack of coins out of there?
Yeah.
Well, I'll attempt the chest and see what happens.
How big is the sack of coins?
It's about this big.
Okay, you know what?
will
Ring lock the
assist.
trap door.
I will assist.
There.
I will assist. I will assist. I will
Yeah.
assist. Roll with advantage, please.
Okay.
Are you worried?
Yeah.
You guys are standing around for a little bit.
She's got deflect missiles. Go for it.
You remove
That's
this.
a 19.
Oh,
Thank you, Kite.
Okay. You rolled a 19 on your third check for the chest.
Sure.
You hear a click, and you sense that the chest is now open.
And darts fly all over the whole room.
I'm gonna check
I
for
just
traps
like
again
deflects all
before
of them with
opening
sword.
this.
Okay. You check for traps again. You're fine. You open the chest and you see that it's now locked. Inside the chest, it appears to be a mechanism loaded with several spring-loaded darts. The entire chest fires darts. There is no treasure contained inside.
Seriously?
Well, at least
It is loaded with darts, and it appears to have a spring-loaded action where each time a dart is released, another dart locks itself into place.
What dicks? What?
How?
Gone Bops is going to steal that technology for his crossbows.
yeah, that's
And
what I was thinking.
So every time the lid is opened, a dart flies out?
Every time the lock is picked or the lid is attempted to be opened with while it's still locked, it will launch a dart.
We're gonna make you think there's treasure.
So
And it contains
I can't
12
make-
darts.
Well, I will take the darts then.
Okay, yeah, you easily disassemble the mechanism and release the 10 darts that are in there.
Wow.
The other two,
Darts.
one's in the wall behind you, and the other one is stuck into a chair right beside Gone Bops.
if we spend 10 minutes, I can
You
draw
did.
the chess technology for you to learn the tech later if you need. That's 10 minutes, but
We
Yeah.
can take the chest with us too.
Yeah, let's do
You can.
take the chest.
yeah.
So the only thing I will say is that removing the darts will, removing all of the darts essentially leaves the chest, semi-useless. But if you're going to take it, you can take it as a chest of darts.
Chest of darts.
Chest of darts, and that's all it is.
While they're doing that, Grond is going to go and find a big tankard, as big as humans in this city have. He's going to get a good draught of mead, and he's
Okay.
gonna drain it back, and then we'll get ready to go down the stairs.
Is
Okay.
there any other rooms? There's like some stairs leading up as well.
Yeah, so this is the main common room, and there's not much of a kitchen area, preparation area in the back behind the bar area. The bar is stashed with really several bottles of liquor. There are casks, some of which have been broken and their contents spilled on the floor, but mostly everything seems intact. There is a darkened set of stairs leading up at the back of the room.
Should we just check out those stairs going up first, making sure there's nothing that's going to come after us? As I say, as I'm walking towards those stairs and ascending them.
Okay, roll perception, please.
Ooh, not 20. Yeah.
Okay, you sense absolutely nothing approaching the back of the stairs, and a calm quiet coming from up ahead. And the stairs just lead up to apparently a second floor.
Well,
Sorry, I was going to mention we will grab the coins from the bag of coins.
Okay, 247 gold, 82 silver pieces.
nice. And
Sorry,
I'm
I
gonna,
completely missed that if you were expecting me to write that down.
What was it again?
247 gold, 82 silver.
so I'm gonna check out this second floor.
Okay, Wandering onto the second floor, you see that all the rooms have been either tossed, they're completely disheveled. Every door on the second floor is open, and beds have been overturned, mattresses sliced open, and it appears that every single room is in the same state of disarray.
Yikes. All right.
I think we're maybe looking for something.
Yeah, seems like it. I'm just going to go tell everybody what I saw. And if that's it, yeah, let's go.
So
check
as you guys are doing all of this, you hear Grond move that big thing. And as he did so, you guys could kind of noticing that the smell of sewage is actually wafting up from the depths of where the staircase leads. As Grond tosses back a drink, and Gonbobs heads downstairs after seeing that the entire upper area is tossed. What's everybody doing?
Yeah. Well, Grond, are you ready to check out the depths below? And I get the prestidigitation. How do we want to travel today? Mango or Mandarin?
Let's go Mandarin.
Okay. Mandarin orange scents cover the sewer.
It smells like orange pine sol down here.
Ew.
Yeah, and you guys are descending into the depths of this stairway?
Before we go, we have sacks to put over your heads.
No. No. Okay, that is not funny.
Try.
Way
So,
too
yeah,
soon.
so you guys descend the stairs, and I'm just going to kind of draw the area as you descend the stairs. You guys can talk amongst yourselves.
I think we should be ready for traps down here. If they're going to send us a chest of darts in this room above, there's probably traps down below. And incidentally, when it's cold out, I also have a chest of darts.
Waka, waka, waka.
Oh,
Stay for us.
wow.
Grond is going to use Mage Hand to be probing around the area for traps.
I'll check for traps as well.
So much probing.
All of the probing.
Yeah, all of the probing.
Use that mage hand and probe right in there.
Okay, so this is basically where you guys ended up going down.
The cold Mage Hand of injustice.
Injustice.
Okay, at the bottom of the stairs,
That's no justice.
It's like a spectral hand is rising.
Family Guy.
you guys see a large door with, it looks like a shuttered and barred window. It's got an iron frame with rivets in it, and you can see that, or nails, and you can see that there's 3 bars, and that it looks like it's been shuttered closed from the other side at the very bottom of these stairs.
Is it locked?
Who's
Check
going
for
to
traps first.
Hey, look at
Mage
you.
Hands have been checking for traps the whole way.
Okay.
You're like,
It'd be 17.
17. You find that the door is locked, but you do not detect any traps.
Okay, I'll pick the lock.
There is no lock.
it's a magical lock, perhaps. Emus, can we dispel magic it, perhaps?
There is also no handle.
I'm gonna look around, see if there's any levers or buttons or anything.
Does it open towards us or away from us?
Looking at the ground, you can tell the door opens towards you.
Okay, in a few seconds, it's going to open away from us.
Oh.
19. Dirty, but 19.
Okay, so you're attempting to shoulder bash that thing, or are you using a weapon?
Extra big ass foot.
Okay, the extra big ass foot, you actually feel a crunch as the door thuds inward just ever so slightly, but you feel like you made some amount of progress, but it's definitely a sturdy door.
Just in case, I'm going to begin a ritual. Just in
Okay.
case.
You hear Emus picking up a ritual behind you. Anybody else doing anything as you watch Grond rear up that knee for another thunderous foot impact to the door?
Well, I was looking for levers or buttons or something.
Yep. Okay, roll investigation, please.
It's gonna hide in the shadows.
Okay, that's Nick's.
25.
25. Okay. Overhead, you can see there was one stone set in the ceiling above the door, and it appears to have been. It's got multiple poke marks on it, as if it's been impacted with metal repeatedly over the years it's been here.
I'll take my sword and just.
Okay, you stick your sword up and press, and it goes tunk, and the door, you hear it unlatch.
Ooh, smarter, not harder.
Just as you do that, Grond's foot lands with a thunderous boom on the center of the door and sends it smashing inward and almost tearing it off of its hinges. And before you,
Well, that was completely unnecessary because now everyone knows we're here.
I could put a rat.
You're muted, Ty.
the door thunders inward, and you can hear the sound of dripping water, and the rank smell of sewer just washes over
Red
you.
and orange.
Yeah,
Come now, they knew we were here before.
more orange pledge, and you can see that there is a fairly well-trodden smooth stone path leading to a T intersection, and there's a barred drain in the floor about 4 feet in diameter, and you can see water flowing in from north to south down a thin tract of sewage leading north and south.
Do we want a familiar scout, or do we want to just press ahead?
Perhaps a scout,
Would be a good idea, yeah.
like an owl, something I can see in the dark. Is it lit or dark?
Oh, it's dark down here.
Dark.
We all have dark vision now, though, right?
Yep.
Except Emus, unless that spell lasts long. How long does that?
Last 8 hours.
Oh,
Nice.
Kite! I double nod for that one. Thank you. So
It's dark in here, though, so are you guys proceeding over the grate and heading left or right? Are you sending your owl or raven to the left or right?
Let's see if there's any clues. Like maybe there's more footprints to the left than to the right, or
And I'll
More-
check for traps as well again.
yeah. And I'm gonna look for, I guess, activity of passage or dragging or something like that on the ground.
So
Okay.
basically how this goes is your level of walking is here, and then there's a bit of a sewer, kind of a culvert that leads along, and then it ends in this grate, which is here. And there's water pouring in from both the north and the south into this drain. And it looks like, looking to the north and the south, that there's a bit of an incline to either direction, leading up to a corner.
It looks like the shit flows downhill, boys.
Yes, always. I wonder if we should head towards the direction of the other building with the door with the sword slash. Maybe it's connected under the sewers.
Actually.
I would imagine, but I would imagine it's maze-like.
Mm.
that might have just. Oops, sorry. That might have just been the meeting spot for them. The housing. This seems more of the secretive area with the pushing of the bar and having to go through.
Mm.
That's very similar to what we went through in December, too.
Yeah.
Well, thieves guilds, they seem to cooperate, which means, okay, reference
So roll a
time,
18
meta.
for investigation for traps.
Okay, roll. Sorry.
I
You
rolled
know
an
how
18.
the Italian mafia had other cities like Florida, Boston, Chicago.
This might be one large guild.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. But the headquarter was the 5 families out of New York, but also had all the factions: Hollywood, Chicago, Philadelphia. All
The guy we offed also admitted that much to us, too.
that's what I'm talking about. Boom. And sorry, which guy did? Because there's a lot that you just went and offed. You have to be more specific when you
The
say
one today. The one that
okay.
happened like an hour ago.
Yeah.
Okay. So it actually looks like it heads north and south. Which way are you sending your reconnaissance bird? muted.
We're doing that. We're doing the scout. So I'll let the team pick. And we're going with.
Well, is there any evidence of passage?
So Calyndra's investigation, if you're waiting until she does her little investigation, turns up multiple footprints leading both north and south.
Where's the heavier traffic?
Appears both ways.
They will use these underground passages for just about everywhere. They will use this as a way to get about in the city free of eyes. I would expect every passage to be equally traveled.
So I guess that means all roads lead somewhere.
Yeah, okay. Well, are we feeling north? I'm feeling north. Why not?
Take those north.
Oh, they're shitty. Let's go downhill.
Well, they're all
Downhill.
Downhill.
It goes uphill towards here, and it goes uphill towards this direction as well.
Oh,
Right.
Let's go.
right now.
Yeah, so there's a slight incline to both of them in the north and south direction, and you can see that there's sewage slightly trickling out of about 4 to 6 inch holes in the wall on either side.
Hey, maybe Emus, can you inspect this grate and see if this is people went?
Okay, the grate is got water trickling in it. Looking into the grate, you can see that it goes down for about 8 feet, and then there's a grate on either side at the bottom, and it looks like water is just dripping, cascading down into that area, and then flowing outward, north and south from wherever it's dropping down into.
I can't imagine anyone would be going down into that cesspool.
Yeah. Well, there's definitely people going around here.
Okay, so heading to the north. Let me just see here. As I type that. Okay, so heading north. Let me just flick off the old. Oh, shit.
Thank you kindly.
This way you'll be able to see as well. How far are you sending this bird up here, Emus?
The most I can send it is 100 feet away from me in vision, or out of vision, I think.
Okay, so this is about all that you're able to gather, and there appears to be these larger areas and rooms in which multiple drainage pipes seem to be pouring sewage into and down into these major drains in the floor. You're getting the sense that this area is perhaps more the older sewer, being in a general. Oh, did I not do that? What the hell? There we go. Yeah, you get the sense that this is like part of the old city.
Should we look for some more footprints or traffic?
Okay.
Is there any sound with this? Yeah.
Yeah, there's all kinds of water dripping sound in the distance. You can hear it sounds like rocks falling or pebbles being knocked off of stuff, and you can hear the screeching of rats. As your raven kind of twists its way up that corridor for 100 feet, you can definitely see that there are rats on the left and right side of the drainage ditch, and they're kind of moving around, chewing on shit.
Nothing man-made that I can detect by perception or anything?
Nope.
Okay. I'm going to relay that to the group, but to remain telepathic, I have to stay within 100 feet, so the raven will try and perch somewhere where it's not getting wet.
Gunbots, I think it's time to talk to the animals.
Hey, that's a really good idea.
Yep.
I'm going to go ask my rat friends if they know of where a lot of manlings can be found.
A lot of
Man.
manlings. Nice.
That's just the way rats talk, you know.
Okay. They have a
I
big
understand. It's not for everybody.
Okay, so the rats don't offer you any information other than to say that they frequently see, bipeds of your description passing back and forth down these halls.
Well, they see
How about
People-
the one of interest that the girls saw before?
the what?
Yeah. You mean the person of interest? Yeah, they don't give you any impression of specific people, just that they're familiar with the organisms that you're describing and their movements amongst the sewer.
Is there a door around?
So no door that you can see, but the corridor does, head north and then east and south and west.
Well, do the rats know of any door that the bipeds would be walking through?
Not these rats.
These are stupid rats.
Rats.
Ask the turtles.
You dirty rat.
Yeah.
Rats are not smart, apparently.
You ask the turtles, and Raphael looks at you. Oh, I don't know whether I should give you this information.
Gotta bring some pizza.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Oh man, pizza sounds so freaking good right now.
Oh man.
Oh man, like the Gulf. Oh,
Mine's all gone though.
That's what I had. I had homemade pizza, pita bread pizza.
Oh, homemade's the best.
Thank you, wife.
Oh, actually, I know what I'm going to get. I will be right back while you guys discuss amongst you for approximately.
Oh,
2
we
minutes.
pushed him over the edge. He's getting his munchies.
I know, yeah, sorry. That was probably like drool moment for him. Okay. At some point we should stop and congregate. There's some things we have to share. I don't know.
Well,
I thought we all did it though, right? Like we had our just, chat and shared all our info.
in the tavern, basically.
Okay, so that happened. So while we did that, can we discuss the group loot document that I've tried to share with everyone?
Yeah.
I'll just put it in the chat just in case. I'm going to, because we have a lot to share.
Do all of us just have access to it, or do we have to go through one of you?
Well, I'll put the link, and then you click, and then it notifies me, and then I say share, and then everybody has access to the group loot sheet.
Oh, I meant like in game.
Oh yeah, you can open it. So far, I got Denver, I got Lynette, and Vinck, which is Tyler.
Oh,
Oh well, okay, well, I don't. Kelly never told me if my belongings had any loot or anything over my years of.
Oh,
being
this is
gone.
this
is
is
like
just
a
shared party over collections. So lots of this stuff is on Emus specifically, but the top part there's a Drake's Hollow storage. There's what's particular right now is the coin sharing. This is all the things we've done a coin sharing once before, but this is everything after that. And then
So I'm just gonna drop this out here for you guys to consider. I think it's totally fine if we just all have a shared party loot. Like I don't really see the need of having individual money because we all want ourselves to buy stuff, right? That's going to make us better. Like if our characters are stronger, it's better for the whole group. Like, I really don't, and like I don't see any of us stopping anyone from buying something expensive. So
as long as everybody's okay with this method of collection information, it's free and transparency.
Yeah.
One thing I do know, we're going to have to start getting a little bit more specific with collections. Like for that Raise the Dead for our clerics and our bard, they need 500 gold diamonds that then get consumed. So when we die and we want our party members, like, we want those accessible between the party members to revive us, so we don't have character deaths. So there's gonna,
we could keep talking about it, and if people need specific things, like I need 500 gold for a weapon, then okay, you deduct it off of the party loot, and that person will get 500 gold to get it. You know,
I think if you're
it's
concerned
excessively
about,
expensive, they might have to just run it by everyone, and everyone gives it the okay, and that's it.
Yeah, just run it by everyone. Yeah,
Kelly's
And
great
if
at
you're
not making
concerned
things too
about-
expensive.
if you're concerned about spell components, why don't you keep the components in a separate sorting system? So you just have like, here's money, and then here is money that's used for spells, so it's separate.
Basically, it's kind of in that system right now with the gems separated. That's only when it gets specific is the big spells. They're kind of related to gems, it seems like, even for wizards. So that's why I kept these ones. We're not going to go spend gems out like mad like that. But there's the Drake's Hollow. The coin, I'll keep it as a party thing. Right now, that 2,400 gold is currently on Calyndra and Kite. That hasn't been split. And then Calyndra individually found 247.82. But the rest is in a party kind of Emus environment. So
that's cool.
okay,
Yeah,
perfect.
Kite's used for money too. She's really got no use for it too. So
Yeah.
I can't say the same for the rogue, but yeah, if
She's got her eye on a ring of invisibility at some point, so which is going to be an expensive buy.
Grond's got his eye on getting some weapons enchanted, and then he's pretty much good.
Okay, timeout team. On that note, not too far from now, Emus starts getting interesting in being able to imbue certain levels of magic into items as long as they're well crafted. All this other stuff. Kelly was able to share to me a chart. Not just yet. More research is needed, but these items you speak of, let's not go spending a bunch of money. Maybe we can create this, go factory direct, pay wholesale, and all that shit.
We'll talk about it every time we want to make a big purchase. And for me personally, I might just need to make a withdrawal of 10, 20 gold here and there just so I can keep flipping it to the people that need it.
For me, I'll have to focus as my dog grows, upgrading armor for it.
Perfect. Speaking of which, I don't know if the group can see that.
Oh my goodness.
Does he have a sword in his mouth?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's
cute.
That's really gonna suck when that dog dies.
Stop it,
it's
Mr.
not gonna
Animal
die.
Lover.
Speaking of the dog appears relatively comfortable. Hang on a sec here.
The dog also appears to be pet by Kite.
The dog is not gonna die. She's awesome.
Hey, I don't want the dog to die either. I'm
Well,
just
then
saying.
stop putting the negative energy out there, man.
That hurt.
The dog appears to be comfortable down here, but it's just sniffing everywhere.
Okay.
Maybe we can build this dog a collar of impassable or that pit. Yeah.
The dog sees a rat and begins to bark. Bark! And it echoes down the sewer.
Oh god.
It's like my dog.
Under control.
It's
Dogs will be dogs, man.
Yeah, and dead will be dead. So
Dog's gonna kill us, man.
yeah, exactly.
No.
We gotta sneak.
Kite pets Nyx and says she's perfect.
Muzzling my dog will probably make it more vicious. I don't believe
Kite will muzzle you if you put the muzzle on the dog.
Awesome. So the sewer, the rats, where are you guys gonna go?
Let's keep moving east and figure out what's further down there. Hey,
Down there?
What's around the sewer bend?
Can you cast impassable trace on a creature?
Just around the sewer bend.
I think it's all creatures within an area.
Within a 30-foot radius.
Can you cast silence on the dog?
Silence is cast on a point that just negates all sound within 20 feet. So, yes.
In older versions, you can cast it on an object, and if the object is moved, then the silence can pass around with it too, right?
That'd be a pretty good collar for the dog.
Centered on a point you choose within range. Any
That would
creature
be a very
object
good
entirely
collar.
inside the sphere is immune to thunder damage, and creatures are deafened while entirely inside it. Casting a spell that includes a verbal component is impossible there.
Nice. So technically, would a point be like, hey, the surface of that buckle on that collar, is that a point?
That is entirely up to Kelly to decide.
Dun, dun, dun.
Sounds like an
Well, and
endeavor.
he plays a lot of similar rules to 2E, so it very well might.
Yeah,
Okay,
no, I read 2E and Kelly is 2E. Yes.
2E or not 2E. That is
OG is 2E
It is the best to be 2E.
Next
with the
time,
OG.
cast light on the dog's nose.
I think 2E is where Gary Gygax had a lot of involvement on the
First, David Cook. David Cook was the big one in second. Well, him and Arneson and some other guys, but
on the product growth. Sorry, yeah, but yeah, there was a lot of more attention paid in 2E. It feels like even the art.
So you guys come up here to a four-way intersection. There's a path leading off north and south, and up ahead, further down, you can see that it opens into a massive cistern area where a lot of the sewer channels appear to be running into this huge bowl-shaped area with a raised stone dais on the top, and there are several drains around that, and all the water appears to be flowing into there and rushing down in kind of a circle and then descending into these big drains.
Interesting.
Yeah, you'd get the distinct impression that falling in would not be good.
Definitely reminds me of it.
Grond gets the distinct idea to look into it to see if anyone has been thrown in, potentially unwillingly.
Oh, okay.
Investigation.
Looks like it.
That would be a 17. That's a pretty solid one.
So looking around, you don't see anything at first, but as you start to squint your eyes, you can see the distinct, like hunched over form of some kind of rotted corpse hanging over one of the cistern grates at the bottom of that bowl. And it looks to have been here for quite some time.
Possible disposal area. I would imagine the fetidness of the area would cause rapid decomposition.
Oh, it's rank in here. Yeah, it is really rank in here.
Until Mandarin.
Boom. Orange pledge.
So
Lemon
pledge.
Lemon pledge. Nice.
we don't need to inspect this corpse, do we? For clues.
I'm sure to even touch it with your mage hand, Gone Bops would probably cause this thing to crumble.
Any of us know forensic anthropology?
Not quite.
Specifically Emus.
And plus, the dog would probably want to get at it.
Okay, on.
Kelly. Yeah.
I'm trying to point at Emus. I'm like, oh, no, he's right up there.
Discord, I think, is different than... Oh, never mind.
Twitch?
Yeah.
Yeah, Twitch just goes by how Alchemist has it arranged in their window.
Makes sense.
Well, should we head further east?
Okay, so there is a corridor that leads south, east, north, and west out of this area, and there are smaller drains on either side of the corridors leading in these directions that appear to be flowing sewage in various amounts. Some are just a trickle, some aren't doing it at all, some have a fairly steady flow, rushing in for moments at a time and then stopping. But they all seem to be flowing into center channels down each one of these corridors and kind of pooling in this area.
Yeah. Well, yeah, go ahead, Grond.
If we really want to route these guys from the sewers, plugging off this main cistern would be a way of doing it.
Collapsing?
No, just plug off this hole some way. And eventually this will all fill up. They will have to be walking through here hip deep. After that, they will be walking through here shoulder deep. They won't be traveling through here. And it's too dangerous to go into that cistern.
You're
Like
gonna
a-
also cause some serious
Plug it.
infrastructure damage for the whole city if you do that.
Beaver Dam.
That's collateral damage.
It's unnecessary.
Thieves will
vandalism.
be gone.
You know how much damage beavers do to an environment?
Mhm.
I'm fighting some right up in Drayton Valley right now, and for 6 months they've been winning this war. I don't think we should play the role of a beaver.
Fair enough. Grond is just thinking from a military tactical standpoint, and to him, this would rout these guys.
We are yes in this
Oh,
town.
you're actually kind of right, because the beavers are winning. So if we play the role of the beaver, maybe like the beavers, like they got the war. I've lost 12 battles in a row.
So now I'm lost. I'm picturing you guys like running around the sewers like beavers, slapping.
He's saying build a dam to plug the sewer to make it so these guys, when they have to trek back and forth to their guild bases and headquarters, they're in like waist high sewage until they clear this, and then we know the pathing afterwards. But that's a long term game.
I wonder what's above.
Looking
Collapse
above.
the building.
Looking above, you see that the ceiling is slightly domed in, and that there is one solid drain up at the top, but nothing is dripping from it.
Can we kind
Mage
of?
hand, try and move it.
Okay. Yeah, you can guide your mage hand, and you move it over to the grate, and it does not budge.
Can we try with a few mage hands? See if it.
Sure.
Okay. With 2 mage hands, you were able to move the very, very heavy iron grate, and it just pops up and slides slightly to the left. And above, you can see, like, through, if you were to, you would actually have to stand on that center stone dais in order to see out the top.
How far of a jump is it?
That is about a 20-foot jump to that dais. Like just to the base of that stone dais beyond the drain. So you would have to come down to the edge of those stairs that lead down to the edge of that bowl and leap 20 feet over to that.
Or we could maybe put the mage hand, carry a rope up, perhaps to tie it on that grate.
How do we get to the days? So
Bird can fly. Mage hands can fly.
Are you sending your bird up there?
Just can teleport.
I would be able to for a quick point of view.
Okay. Your bird appears to come out in an intersection of the street overhead.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
if we collapse the street, that's a lot of rubble falling in.
Oh shit.
Also,
Just saying.
we have free reign for now, but if we start causing major infrastructure problems, that free reign becomes shackles real quick.
Yeah, and plus,
No, it's us.
we don't even know.
Abilities we can get out.
We don't even know if this is really where these thieves have infested themselves. Like, I think we better search around first more before we start damming up areas.
Wrecking our fun.
No, he could be
I'm
correct.
just saying it's an option.
It is an option. I think it's a good idea, Grond. But let's find out some more. Let's do some more recon, I think.
That very well could be right. In Calyndra, they may not need to dwell in the sewers. They could be more out in the open, whereas in Sember, they're not as established and need to dwell in the sewers. Kind of like that New York and Philadelphia thing I was talking about, Mafia.
Who's this New York you speak of?
Well, that's, yeah.
Philadelphia. Never heard of such a strange place.
Penisvelvia.
What?
Okay, I have heard of that place. You probably should go there.
Yeah. Oh man,
How
nobody
about
wants
West
to go there.
Philadelphia? That's where I was born and raised.
On the playground, where you spend most of your days.
Chilling out, maxing and relaxing or cooling or shooting some people
shit.
outside of the school.
Oh,
When a
that's my
couple of
favorite show.
ogres, they were up to no good. Started making trouble in the neighborhood.
That show's coming back, I hear, with a remake.
Don't
Oh,
do
with
it. Don't.
Fresh
So it's
Prince,
good, but Bell.
I hope,
That it's the expired prince of Bel Air, no longer fresh.
Would it be Will Smith as like a?
Expired.
Would it be Will Smith as like a 50-year-old now, still like living with his uncle?
Yeah.
Wow.
Carlton. Arr!
Yeah, Carlton's like in a walker, like
Yeah. Dude,
Throws out his hip doing his dance.
yeah.
It's not unusual to have hips. Arr! Just make them like super old. It's like the retirement version of the Fresh Prince. He's like gone beyond. Yeah. Oh, it's too bad though. Phil died.
Yeah, I hope they don't wreck it, but I think it's a Netflix thing.
Oh, no.
Oh,
I
wow.
almost guarantee they're gonna wreck it. Because
Oh yeah.
seriously.
How
Yeah.
about Cobra Kai? They didn't wreck that. I was
That's
well
I loved it.
yeah.
I really like
Except
that
for
show.
screw you last episode of season 2. Screw you with fire.
done.
That was a rough one, man.
You got a point.
No spoilers for Twitch Tail, though.
Yeah, no, I see where it's going though, and I'm liking it so far. I caught the trailer for next season. It looks good. So
Well,
out of here, you guys can hear.
Let's keep going. What do you think? Let's go north.
Sure. Sounds good.
Okay.
Head north.
You guys are gonna go north. I have to redraw this.
Oh no. Well, okay. Let's go east then.
South, go south. South.
Either way, it's gonna have to be redrawn probably.
What about
Yeah,
south?
let's go south. There's lots of room south. Yeah, let's do south. For sure, south.
Does anybody in our party have some like a spell called like Divine Insight where we can call on the knowledge of the DM where to go?
I'll agree.
Actually, that's
Don't we
a
have a
spell.
scroll with that?
That is a
Ooh.
spell I think I chose.
In the group loot, there is scrolls. We have Featherfall, Creative. Nope. Not that I.
Very
Did
cool
wrote down.
spell that I liked.
Did you say you chose that spell?
Well, there's a spell where the DM has to like tell me certain things like in the future or whatever. I have to
Like,
read.
whoa.
Augury is
Augury.
Augury, I believe, is the one it's a pretty solid spell.
Yeah.
I think maybe in our spell planning, something like that might be handy in situations where there's new maps that he just like perfectly drew. And he's like, go south. But we're like, go north. And then he's like, wow, wipes a new.
Clerics
Yeah,
just
I
have to
definitely
memorize
think
their
that-
spells.
I picked
don't
that
have a limit
spell
on them.
because I thought it would be very useful.
So, the south end or the archway that leads south, there's a fairly large like stone archway around that path, and you going over there, you see that leading south. It drops down a set of stairs, and then it goes down for about 40 feet, and then there's an over like almost like a stone pedway that leads into two quarters that are slightly higher and leading off to the west and east. Down a thinner quarter, and the wider quarter continues south. So at this point, though, we're going to stop the game here tonight. Only because you guys are about to get into all kinds of shenanigans down here in the sewers, and I've been rocking the worst freaking headache for the last 3 hours, so it's starting to peak on me. Thanks, everybody, once again for coming out tonight.
Yeah, man.
Kelly.
Yeah, no problem. I look
Thanks
forward
so
to
much.
seeing into what sewer shenanigans you guys get into next week. Thanks to everybody who dropped by. J-Man, who's already gone to bed. And I look forward to catching up with the Camarina Adventures crew tomorrow evening. Right here, same digital time, different digital bat channel. And yeah, I'll look forward to seeing you then. I hope you guys have a great night.
Have a good
Have a
night,
good one.
guys.
Adios.
19.
See ya.
19.